And since I don't see the guy for the trading stuff, I think I'm going to go ahead and start with the AI side of it first. So let me go ahead and just pull that up on screen. Just give me a moment. So today we're going to be going over, we're going to go over a bunch of different opportunities for, well, building with AI and blockchain, which is an area I've been spending a lot of time in because this is really the future. So let me go ahead and share my screen. Ishmael, were you able to reach out to the rest of our team members? You're on mute there, Ishmael.
Yeah, I'm reaching out to them now.
Thank you. All right. Can you guys see my screen?
But we
Yes,
see
looks good. Looks good.
Good. Okay. All right. So we're going to just go ahead and dive right in. Switch screens here. All right. So, and there's Jackie coming in. So we're going to dive into the AI part of it first today, and then we'll have the update on the market. Hopefully, we'll have the trading analysis a little bit later in the session, and then we have a guest in the second hour from South Africa who'll be joining and giving some perspective on AI and blockchain based from there. So let me dive into it first by just a kind of a show of hands in the chat. How many of you guys are actively using AI, or just started to research it, or not? Maybe just type in the chat, what your current experience is with using AI and AI tools, and if you're using it right now, or if you're not, and then just type that in the chat, just so I can get a feel for where people are as far as using different AI tools. And if you want, you can put, like, if there's an AI tool that you use or something, you can put that in there too. All right, Victor. So let's take a minute, type in the chat. You're using it, not using it, just learning about it, and if there's any tools that you guys are already using from AI perspective. No, that's not the chat. It's the chat. Okay. All right. So I see Jack. I see Victor. Anybody? There we go. So Thomas, ChatGPT, Claude, just getting into agents. Okay. William using every day on ChatGPT in video. Welcome. I think I saw Gwen join. Welcome, Gwen. And so I was putting in the chat what people's kind of current uses on AI tools and how you guys are using the Perplexity for Cecile and ChatGPT, ChatGPT for Jackie. Cool. William, good. All right. And nice. All right. So diving in here. So we're going to look at basically three levels of kind of being able to utilize AI and AI tools to build wealth. And I'm, you know, dabbling in different ones at different levels. So we'll start with first ones that are no money needed, what basically whatsoever. We can kind of just start anything, a con, since you've been using ChatGPT, Perplexity, and DeepSeek. Wow, quite a lot to advise go-to-market strategy and farming cooperative. Also, you curate articles. Nice. Okay, Cecile, good. All right, so very nice. You got quite a bit going there. I kind of use quite a lot of tools, and everybody else feel free to put in the chat what you're using as far as AI goes. So from the no money needed side, we're going to take a look at AI freelancing. We're going to look at content creation, which I do quite a lot of. If any of you guys follow my Great Moments Africa channel, that's I use the AI to create the whole thing. That's doing really well. It does over 1 million views every month now. Affiliate marketing, and prompt selling. So let's take a look at some of these. So AI freelancing is one that almost anybody can do, right? So you can just go and you can get Fiverr, Upwork, or any of these platforms. I think Facebook Marketplace, whatever you want to do. And there are things like data annotation, which is just like adding, different labels and stuff for AI models. And a lot of people reach out to me for that kind of stuff. I haven't done it, but that's something that people just reach out to do. You do prompt engineering, which is just where you create the prompt. So you guys are usually asking the Chat GPT or whatever it is, or Claude, whatever you use when you're creating prompts. And one of the most important things and powerful things is to be able to create a really strong prompt. In fact, here's a little tip and secret, I actually usually ask my AI to create my prompt for me. So if I wanted to do something, I'm like, hey, I want to do this. Can you give me the best prompt to do that? It will give me a much better prompt than if I just did it myself, right? So creating prompts, prompt engineering is a really big one, actually. And as it says here, you can charge probably $50 to $500 per project. And that's available on almost any of the different AI tools right now that you can use. Also, AI copywriting. I'm not doing this one, where AI tools can write blogs, ads, copy, emails, things like that. I think Akan, you're kind of using some of you're using some of that kind of for your articles and things like that. And I think Ishmael on my team, you also are using the AI tools for, I assume, for your stuff as well, yeah?
Yes.
Akan, do you want to give any comment or thought on the AI copywriting aspect of it?
I mean, compared to and I'm always glad to be part of it. Always learning, always something to come. I have a question. I'll say basically what I do, I write. So I read the author of expertise and I write it.
It's a little broken up on the audio, Akan. Is it you able to like switch from mic or maybe switch to from speaker to microphone or something?
Okay, I
That's
figure
better.
that I have had to put off my video. It's clearer now, right?
Yeah, that's better. Yeah.
Yes, because I put off my video. Maybe I'll turn it on when I'm done talking.
Okay. All right, William, you
Okay,
may
so I was saying,
continue.
no. So I was saying that I'm stoked to be here. I'm always glad to be a part of what we're building and looking forward to further editions of this. Now, as regards what you asked me,
Mm-hmm.
um, I write. I try to post weekly on my LinkedIn. And for me to be able to be a good writer, I need to be able to study a lot, read a lot. So I read a lot, I write. Then what AI does for me is I write what I want. Then I express to the AI. I could use ChatGPT depending on where I am coming from. Like for example, there was about 4 weeks ago, I wrote an article on how, just a brief article on how um, Fitch and Moody are intentionally sabotaging the development of African countries by giving Afrexim Bank a poor rating, and it makes no sense. They are rating, they rate Afrexim Bank. I think it was C B minus or something of that nature. But other rating agencies are putting them in the A's, and the
Mm-hmm.
reason why they're doing this is because they are factoring in um, they are factoring in loans that shouldn't have been classified as non-performing loans into their evaluation. So it's kind of giving the bank an unfair rating, even though from what I gather,
Mm-hmm.
that that rating agency, Fitch and Moody, were part of of the institution of Afrexim Bank at its beginning. So I don't really understand what the politics is going on in there. But what am I trying to say? I use Perplexity to edit the article to make it a bit more um, factual, a bit
Mm-hmm.
more research based, something that a true expert can see and
Mm-hmm.
understand it at a glance. And that's something, and that's a functionality that ChatGPT wouldn't really be able to give me. It's special to Perplexity. So that's basically how I do it. Then, for example, with DeepSeek now, ChatGPT um, has some very annoying nuances. They'll tell you that you can't chat to this particular level, or there are things that the system will give you to do.
Mm-hmm.
The same when I take to DeepSeek, DeepSeek gives me instant answers. Like, wow, this is amazing. So I just find ways, depending on what I'm trying to achieve, to intermix the three of them. I've currently been exploring Claude.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still yet to figure out how that would how I would what sort of articles, what angle I would use Claude with. But I'm very with playing around with ChatGPT, Perplexity, and DeepSeek. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Dan, welcome as well. Welcome. Donald, welcome. Cecile, if you can just let me know if you see additional questions come up. I see a few here. It looks like videos, William, you said you make for a YouTube channel, Ubuntu Global Network, the website
Yes.
and the app. Yeah, what tool are you using for that?
What did you say?
You said you're using it for your website and your YouTube channel.
Yes.
Okay,
I
what do you
use
do?
ChatGPT. I pay a subscription for ChatGPT. There's a couple of other Alama or something that I'm going to be looking at because I'm interested in having my conversations not be out in the on the web, so I can control them. So I'm also looking to get something more secure that only speaks to me. So I'm looking
Mhm,
at there's like I want to control my own server,
mhm,
and I started out. I have a Ugreen.
mhm,
Uh, I started out small, but I plan on going to the big one. The 48 plus they have out now. The other one on Kickstarter has a built-in AI,
mhm,
and I think that's going to cost about $2,500 just for the hub itself. It
mhm,
has about six NAS disks, and it has its own AI built in the
mhm.
machine.
Okay.
And so, as my global network increases, this is one of the things that I plan on doing is having all of my stuff self-contained, where I'm the owner of my AI, and
Mhm.
it's not out there like it is now, unprotected.
So you're actually creating something that's your own AI then.
Yes,
Nice. Okay. Very
I
nice.
want to control all of my own data,
Mm-hmm.
and that's part of the thing that I'm doing with my global network. And even one of the reasons I joined the group, I came here to get in this
Mm-hmm.
group,
Yeah.
is because some of the problems that exist in the African diaspora community is
Mm-hmm.
accountability. And I remember I've known you for some while, even though we
Mm-hmm.
haven't really personally talked.
Mm-hmm.
But I've been on the group with you in other groups maybe like 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
And what impressed me about you is that you know so much about the blockchain. And for me, AI and blockchain go together because there's accountability
Yeah.
and there's a record.
Yeah.
And this way, people can see that people are not scamming each other, that
Right.
there's a record and there's accountability. And so that's why I'm here, John.
Okay, great. Well, welcome. And we'll definitely learn from each other. So I'm interested to hear how you're creating creating your own AI as well. So that's pretty good. All right, Victor, so you said so when
Thank
it
you.
comes to things with AI, I use ChatGPT, Gemini, Bolt AI, Design AI for website research, generating photos, articles. All right, and Victor, I'm not sure if on this one for copywriting or prompt engineering, if you had wanted to add anything on that.
For me, I'll say that I use those tools, especially ChatGPT and Gemini, for writing, doing research. Especially, I am a student here at university, so you find that most of the work our lecturers give us most of the work, and you find that to go like searching on, for example, on Google like manually, it is
Hmm.
somehow like tedious. So sometimes I use ChatGPT and Gemini to do the research. But AI it can also make mistakes. So the answers that the AI that will give to me, I must go through it because you can't copy paste it and share it out because sometimes you find that AI also makes a lot of mistakes. So sometimes after I've done my research. I go through the work that the AI has generated so that I can either share. And also when it comes matters concerning about website, you find that yes, AI it has make work easier for people who don't know about coding and things to do with computer science, but you find that at least at some point you must know the language of coding, because this is a AI tool. It is an AI. It is generating the codes of which things to do with the cyber security, and yeah, and things to do with cybersecurity. So you find that at least when I design some website using AI, I must sit down again and try to rectify the codes, because some of the codes, maybe you can publish a website and you find that someone can hack it easily. So you must somehow try to rectify some code so that the website cannot be easily attacked. So thank you.
Okay. Very good. And saw some other comments there, but the main tools here, Canva, Midjourney Design Service, we'll talk a little bit more about that coming in. Some of the other ones, obviously ChatGPT, Claude, Perplexity is really good for research. DeepSeek is one that was created in China with an open source model. And so a lot of people have different ones. Another one that's becoming very popular right now is Manus.ai, which was just bought by Facebook. So there's a number of different ones that you can use. And Gwen, I see you there. You'll be presenting later. Very good. And that's showing from South Africa perspective. So let me go on.
Can I say something about AI copywriting
Yep, go ahead.
to help everyone?
Yep, sure.
A key note that I would like to mention to everyone. By the way, my name is Gwen Swan. I'm CEO of Kian.io in South Africa. We develop AI. We can handle your project, develop projects, and we develop blockchain and all that. So, but anyway, what I will speak later, but I wanted to you guys to take a note that when you're AI copywriting, one of the best trick that you can do in order for the AI to carry your voice is what you do is you take about 4 or 5 texts that you wrote, that you typed, of course, that is in the Word format or PDF. You take about 4 or 5 texts that you wrote, you upload it into the AI, and you tell the AI to write, to first of all, to create your tone, your voice, and to identify you as a person, and you give it your name, and then you ask it to give you your tone and voice from your writing. Then you take that prompt, and then whenever you write any documents or anything, blog, ads, or any email for clients or anything, you take that and you add that prompt of your tone and voice, and you say it to the AI to write as you, using your tone and voice, and it will write as if it comes from you. It will carry your tone, your undertone, the way you express yourself, and the way you say things, and and so it won't be like Akan was mentioning earlier, that the AI is gives, like ChatGPT gives a lot of hallucination and a lot of problems, not following your tone of voice, and so this would resolve that issue.
Okay, good. All right, and I know you're going to be sharing a lot more coming up here at the latter part of the session as well. So we'll look forward to hearing a lot more on your expertise also, because I know you've been using AI. I think you actually, Glenn, I believe you actually created your own AI as well. So that'll be something people will be very interested in, I think, also. Khan, you want to raise your hand? Move slides here. Go ahead.
Yeah, yeah. I also respond to what she said. Like, my mind alone. I I was getting to this point. What she just, I was getting very close to making my AI do that for me, but I didn't. I wasn't
Khan, your audio is
having
breaking
it.
up again. Maybe, I don't know if your video is running. The audio is breaking up again.
Okay, how is it now? Is it much better?
Yeah, that's better. Thank you.
So, my mind's just blown because how she puts it, I was approaching that point. I've been using AI for close to a year right now. So
Mm-hmm.
I was approaching that, and what she has said is brilliant because this is something I should have done like months ago. But then again, I didn't. I mean, when she says that you should supply it with your data and ask it to identify your tone and voice, I actually got that down because
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to as soon as I end this webinar because that's something I should have done since. Because I've experienced writer's block for like the past 3 weeks. So I've not been able to write anything. I've not been able to post
Mm-hmm.
anything, and I've been seeing a lot of things I love. I'm still soaking in the information.
Mm-hmm.
When smarter way to do things would be to take all this information and supply it to the AI after I had already pre-programmed the AI to be able to identify my voice and tone and use those new articles or sources of information to prompt it in order to make an
Mm-hmm.
article for me. So that works. Although my fear is that won't wouldn't that wouldn't that wouldn't that take the me out of what I am offering compared to the drudgery of the past that's before AI and bringing this in because I'm going to do this as soon as we end this call. But my fear is
Mm-hmm.
me as a person, like, would I lose my tone? Like, I'm just wondering how it would be. But I'm definitely going to deploy
Is
what
that
she has said.
me, Akon, or for John?
What was that?
Is that question for me, Akon, or for John?
I mean, it's open, but I would definitely love to hear your take on it because you are the one that mentioned it. I would definitely hear your take on it, but it's open to
All right.
everyone.
So let's do a quick take on it, and I'll give a quick take, and then I'll keep going because we have a lot more we'll go through. But go ahead, Gwen.
Um, when you set your tone and voice into the AI, it will remember you. It will know you. As a matter of fact, a lot of the things you could do by doing that, because all AI operates with a flywheel. The flywheel is the upside of everything that people write into it. It goes right into the feed of the AI. That's called the flywheel. Um, and so when you upload your tone and voice into the flywheel of an AI, it will know your tone and will respect your tone as per the documents that you uploaded that you wrote. So if you take documents that are poorly written from you about whatever a story or anything that is not professional, it will carry that tone. If you take a document that is very professional, if it is for your business or you're building a blog, whichever direction you want your blog to go, you have to upload documents that are kind of representative of that. And so you upload like 4 or 5 texts, and you tell it to identify your tone and voice and your personality through your writing. And then once it gives you that, you use that in your prompt, telling it to follow your voice, your tone, and personality in your writing. And it will respect that, and it will remember. Um, you might have, the reason I say you keep uploading it and putting it into your prompt is because if you don't, you can always say, follow my tone and voice, and it will know. But from time to time, you need to re-upload it because, especially ChatGPT has a lot of hallucination. Perplexity has much less hallucination. DeepSeek, over time, if you keep asking questions in the same thread, it will give you all kinds of hallucinations. Um, Yama 3, Gemini 3 is really, really actually one of the best AI right now on the market, aside from Claude. Claude is the top of the chain, um, you know, but yeah, I just wanted to say that parenthesis. I'm not going to extend fully right now. I'm going to leave the voice to John.
Thank you for mentioning that real quick because
Yeah.
I have a question for you. Why do you think Gemini
All right,
is
and
is
I'm gonna hold more questions right now because we got a lot to go through, but we'll hold that to the end, okay? And we will do questions at the end of the session, okay? All right, so I'm going to keep going. Content creation is another area. So this is where you can build an audience, you can monetize your knowledge, all right? And this is something that I do. Of course, for many of you, you might follow my YouTube channel, Great Moments Africa. If you don't, please do. And that is completely, I use AI tools. I have a whole content creation pipeline that I use with that channel. So I create YouTube shorts. I probably have some examples there, though I've got to see if it's there. Let's see. I'll actually open another window so you guys can see what it looks like. And
Yeah.
then I do TikTok Reels and I actually form those as well. And I take the same content across the different platforms. And as I said, those are basically moving to be monetized now. And they are probably across platforms. It probably does a few million views every month. And it's been increasing pretty steadily. I've been doing that for whatever, approaching 5 months, half a year now. And so there's a lot of tools that you can use to do that. Things like, of course, ChatGPT and Claude are going to be script writing. 11 Labs for AI voiceover. I like AGen for that. There's Canva and CapCut for editing. Now, one thing I will tell you as an audience, because and I want to pull up just so you guys can see what it looks like. Um, One of the challenges that I have with a lot of the video tools is that let's say that I'm doing like I have a very popular series on Queen of Monterenes, who was a Nubian queen. And Nubia obviously is where Sudan was today. So it's a very Africa in the center of Africa. But the AI tools will actually draw my characters as if they come from Europe. So I actually have to put a lot of work in to make sure that it gives me a representation of African characters, or the same thing for Asian characters, whatever it might be. And that is something, so that representation is something you actually have to watch. I wasn't super happy on some of the tools. CapCut was not quite doing what I wanted it to. Some do better, some do not as well. So that's something you need to watch. And then you can do newsletters. We talked about Substack, Beehive here, which I do less newsletters, but actually Victor on my team does do some newsletter work. And TubeBuddy, which I also use as well on the other channel, on my main channel. I'm going to show you guys what the Great Moments Africa channel looks like. So give me 1 second. I'm going to change my browser share. Great. And that's just at Great Moments Africa on YouTube. There. So let me change the sharing, and you can see what it looks like. And so this is all created using AI. All right, so we have the shorts actually, most like 90% of the content on the channel is shorts. And I use different AI to generate different ones of the shorts, right? And these really get great viewership as well. People like the action, everything, the AI is like very cinematic. And then the other thing is also you can take and repurpose the shorts. So you can also put them on TikTok, you can put them on Instagram, you can put them on Facebook, Reels, right? So there's a lot of different places that you can use the same content that you're creating that way. And if you haven't already checked out, subscribe to the channel, check it out. That is all done with AI tools. And I have a pipeline, which I'm always updating and modifying because the tools keep changing pretty constantly.
Very, very, very cool.
Thank you. All right, so let me go back over to our slides.
So which AI do you use to generate those cinematic?
Several. Let me switch back over. So there are several that I use. I use Sora 2, which I'm going to actually have to replace shortly because Sora 2 is being retired. I use quite a few other tools like Luma, HeyGen, Higgsfield, which are other AI video generators. I also use Opus Clip, which really that's for my long form stuff. That allows you to cut short video clips from long. So usually like when we're doing these Wakanda meetups, I will take these and I'll do a lot of clips, which you guys probably see, and I'll put those out there. And Opus Clip allows me to do that really quickly. There's several others. CapCut, I think, does it too. I don't use CapCut for that. And then for script writing, I use Claude. I use the YouTube AI or ChatGPT. more often, and then sometimes for research perplexity. So there's actually a number of them I'm constantly updating, and I have team members who are here as
Which
well.
one
Put those here in the
is
chat. I actually have an AI content creation pipeline, Jackie. So what I will do is if you guys put your email in the chat or your IG or whatever, and then I will capture that and I will send you guys the content creation pipeline. I have like a one pager that goes through my content creation approach. Cool.
which one would you say is the most stable AI video production suite?
Well, it was Sora up until like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, but so there wasn't.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Sora is really advanced actually. It has the ability to have like context sensitivity and it has like logic, like if this happens and this happens, this happens. The other tools, a lot of them aren't as smart that way. So you'll tell, hey, give me this, and the other one just like, okay, here's a picture of a guy standing out, fighting with a sword. But Sora is like, okay, this happens and that makes that, and that makes that. And it has the whole, I mean, it's amazing. So it really annoys me actually that they are retiring it, and I'd love to see them not do that. But I guess that they were spending a bunch of money on compute and they weren't getting paid for it, which is fine for me because I wasn't having to pay for it. But apparently it wasn't fine for them. So I like Sora the best actually, but there are a lot of other ones that are pretty good. Higgsfield is quite powerful for like cinematic stuff, and it actually uses several underlying engines. So I think it uses the Google Nano Banana. There's Klein, several others. So it actually picks the right one to use. So Higgsfield is one I kind of like right now. HeyGen is very powerful as well because it is a very
I
good.
love HeyGen.
Yeah, you like
I'm
it?
sorry to interrupt. I love HeyGen, and they can take your shorts also and translate it to
Hmm.
various languages. Your
Yeah, HeyGen
hygiene.
is really smart. It's a great orchestrator. It can like pull a lot of different stuff together with the agent. So I like that tool a lot too. So I think those would be some of my top ones. I'm constantly experimenting because, as you guys know, there's like a new tool like every day. So while we're sitting here right now, there's probably 5 new tools that just came out. But those are some of my favorite ones. And yeah, William, I agree with you. HeyGen is really good. I also do my virtual avatar with HeyGen as well, which I initially did not want to do, honestly, because I was kind of like, I don't want like a digital me out there. But finally I gave in because I was working with somebody and they're like, hey, I need you to do a avatar or whatever for me. So I did it for them. I was like, this isn't, I might as well do it myself. So instead of just having it out there. So I did my own, which is not bad. Maybe later I'll show you guys what the avatar looks like. I, it's not exactly like me, honestly, but I think it's pretty good. I think you can use 11 Labs to make the voice better, but I haven't done that yet. But it's pretty good. I think it's a pretty good approximation. Let me see if I have it here. Give me a second. I think I do have that avatar. Well, you know what? Maybe I'll do it during our QA session. And you guys can take a look and see what you think of that. So the content creation side, is definitely a great way. I love content creation. Honestly, if there's one thing I could spend all my time doing, I'd probably do that. I love just creating stuff. So this is a really nice one. If this is an area that you enjoy, I would definitely suggest, doing more on this side of it. Yeah. And a lot of people are willing to pay for that. Obviously, you can also monetize your channels and, do YouTube and do all that kind of good stuff too. But one thing I will caution you on that one is that don't let it just be like pure AI, like the AI voice and here, and you don't use anything that's like unique and your own because they will block you on all the social media because they don't want stuff that's just like AI with no human creativity in it. So make sure that you put your stamp that people know is like your voice or, you do some unique stuff. Don't just let it like just generate because AI knows AI generated content that's got nothing else in there. Okay? So that's a caution. Affiliate marketing. So these ones actually AI can there's some affiliate ones here later for that as well. You can get commissions basically. So if you don't want to create everything yourself, what you can actually do is get the affiliate links. I don't know if one of our members here, I have an affiliate link. He does an AI course, and he's on here. But the affiliate allows you to actually get paid for basically just showing other people's products. So let's say you have a channel like I do. Then you have, affiliate stuff you can share and everybody, and then you'll get like, they'll give you whatever, 10% or 20%. So that's pretty cool. and AI for all the different AI tools and stuff like that for Gamma, Midjourney, which I actually need to add some of these actually, as I look at this, right? And it'll give you a recurring commission for every time you refer the AI tools. And then crypto exchange affiliates. So this is going back on our crypto. We also have those affiliates, right? So I have like Binance and Coinbase and all those. And those are also another set of affiliate tools. So again, they'll give you a recurring income every time that somebody wants to use those tools and you're talking about them or using them anyway. And course and platform affiliates, there's Udemy, Coursera, Skillshare. I have one from one of our group members as well, Hexucation, I think it's called, and you'll see that at the end here. So those are things that you can do. If you have a website, you have a following on social media, you can just use a lot of those affiliate and AI, different affiliate, and that will actually continue to pay you. There's a guy who does a thing on make a note here on those AI tool affiliates. I need to add it myself. And what he basically does, he has something that's like a conference for people who are building apps with AI, which is pretty cool. Justin, I think his name. I went to a session a few weeks ago, and what he did, he said he like traveled the world basically, and all he was doing was just he was basically earning all his money from affiliate. So he wasn't actually doing anything except for just his affiliate stuff was paying him all the time. So that's pretty good. Now, obviously, you have to have some kind of a following where people are gonna see your affiliate stuff, but that's pretty powerful. And that was what he was able to do. And some of the tools here at the bottom, I cannot say that I use a lot of these. Linktree, I think is very popular. I've heard, obviously, ChatGPT, do your promotional content, Pretty Links. I haven't checked that one out yet. But there's quite a number of different ones that you can use, and you'll see some of the affiliate ones that I have later on that I do. I have some for different crypto and digital asset exchanges, as well as for AI, different course, things like that, wallets for crypto and things like that. So those affiliates are a great way for you to earn, especially if you have a following on LinkedIn, TikTok, whatever it might be on social media, Telegram, it doesn't matter. You can actually use these. And again, there's no real startup cost except just signing up. Okay. And then prompt selling. And I've heard a lot of people say they do this. I don't know if anybody in this call that actually does this. I have not been selling prompts, even though I know that there are a lot of people who say that they do take the prompts, they'll craft them because a good prompt is what differentiates like a really great result in AI, from kind of a garbage result, right? So there's garbage in, garbage out. If you have a really poor prompt, it's not going to produce anything. And a lot of people go, oh, AI doesn't, it's not working for me. It's because the prompt is not really, it's not telling you what to do. People go, write me an email. It's like, okay, just write an email. It's not going to do a whole lot for you. But if you tell it, I need you to write an email with this kind of a tone and, do it based on this way, same way that I write, like Gwen said, where, you have it trained on the way to your tone, your way of communicating. And, I need you to send it to this person and I need it to, be in more of a business kind of a formal, and this is the message. Now it's going to give you a really good email. But if you just said, give me an email, it's going to be pretty bad. Right. And that's a lot of times what people happen. So people, if you have prompts, you can do image prompts. Like I share some image prompts for some of my video that I do. So I share some of those, not all of them. So and especially because a lot of my characters have to actually look like authentically from different African regions they come from. And so I have to put a lot more work into making sure the prompts look correct. Otherwise let's just say, does not do them justice. So ChatGPT prompt packs. You can bundle prompt packs as well for marketing, coding, business, whatever it is. Sell digital. I do technology consulting. So I used to do some prompts for like some of the agile stuff that I did that help you, like if you were a scrum master, if you were, a product owner, I had different prompts that people could use for those. And then custom GPTs and agents. And custom GPTs, I've seen some people who have these, and you can create a one-time fee to create a custom GPT. It's like it incorporates a certain knowledge skill set. Like I know one for like grant writing. I know another one for, I think it's like AI, the AI coaching thing. And you can create these custom GPTs. This is in ChatGPT, but I'm sure the other platforms have them too. And you could charge for those as well. I'm finding these, my opinion, people can, give your own thought on this. I'm finding these to be a little less popular now that we have more agents that are, it seems like to me a lot more, and I think it should actually. People are spending more time on the agents than the custom GPTs, but custom GPTs are an option for you to use as well. Okay. So prompt base, We've got ChatGPT, of course, and Claude, Gumroad, and there's a big debate, which many of you may or may not be aware of right now with ChatGPT and Claude. At least in the US, it's a little bit of a, I think that Claude like made a stand and said we're not going to share certain information with the government, and people were like, yes, they're fighting for freedom or whatever it was, right? So then, there's a big, people shift over to Claude, and people are like, oh, well, ChatGPT is giving our information to the government. I honestly think that pretty much all of them give information to the government, but just saying. So I'll just leave that there. Yeah,
They had a contract with the Pentagon that they lost,
yeah.
and they lost the contract because they refused to unplug their flywheel from whatever outside government prompt that they would be using. They wanted to divert their flywheel to their own database instead of feeding Anthropic, and Anthropic refused. And so they disconnected, they terminated their contract.
Apparently, it's been very good for Anthropic's business though, because they have now, I think they have more ads in like the last month than ChatGPT by a large number. So
Yeah,
I guess it worked out for them.
the CIA just created an AI called OANI,
Uh-huh.
um, which is actually a neural network.
Mhm.
I'll talk about that when it's going to be
Mhm.
my turn.
Okay. Cool. We also have Midjourney that you can do for image prompt creation. Midjourney is pretty popular. You try that one actually. Notion as well for organizing and packaging prompt packs. And what I just suggest is if you're going to do, try, maybe a different tool like each day, or at least try a few each week. That way you're going to at least start getting familiar with different tools because this area moves so fast that if you're not doing that, it's very easy to get left behind because everybody's like, oh, this is the greatest tool ever. And then like the next week, you're like, nope, now this is the greatest tool ever for this. And then the next week is another one, right? So it's a good idea just to have, we call it the growth mindset. Always be learning the different things that are coming up. And never assume that, oh, I learned this one. This is going to be the one because you never know. You just never know. Welcome. I think I saw somebody else join there. Joseph, welcome. So now this is a small money, level two, right? $10 to $100, right? So modest initial investment, depending on where you're located. Crypto and digital asset investing, obviously, we'll talk about that a little bit, digital products and community monetization. So for crypto digital asset investing, which is obviously we've been doing this in this group a long time, you can buy things on spot, and AI algorithms actually can guide you, especially for trading. I think Joseph can maybe talk about that more. But the trading bots and things like that, those there's some really good ones. And Jackie, I think maybe you do have seen some of these too. The AI is actually integrated, and it gives you. I personally, I don't do that much trading. Personally, I know Joseph does. He'll come on a little later and talk. But and the reason is because I really personally cannot outdo these AI bots anymore, right? So it's, even like in stocks and stuff like that, I used to like, okay, let me trade a little bit, but now it's like they know every signal before anything's even happened, and they've made like 50 trades before I can even start typing. So I'm like, nope. I'll just, but some people will use, AI and bots for that as well. Obviously, like trade or do spot buying. Staking, of course, is a great way if you have, coins to make some extra passive income. A lot of options. I think Jackie, Oceana did presented the one where they do, I think is staking part of the features for the platform that Deanna had presented that have staking?
Oh, shoot. Gosh darn it.
Uh-oh,
Oh,
lost your audio. You there, Jackie? I think she might be having trouble with her audio. So there's a number of platforms. So obviously you can do it on Coinbase, you can do it on Binance, you can do it on, Robinhood. There's a bunch of different ones where you can do your staking as well. I was able to hear you, by the way, Jackie. I'm not sure if you're having a problem with your microphone. Um, and then yield farming, which is basically where you put on DeFi protocols like Uniswap, Aave, and they'll basically just pay you to have your stuff out there, right? Which is very nice, right? It's passive income. Highly recommend if you have some extra, coins, tokens, whatever, definitely do that, right? Why there's no reason not to be earning something. Now, obviously, don't put everything there. You should keep some stuff in a cold wallet because those things are online, which makes them a little more vulnerable. But you know, why not get paid for having the
If
coin, right? So why not get paid? That's what I'd say there,
you're,
right?
if you're based in Africa, AvaTrade is very flexible for banking and uploading money and to your wallet and all that, and for trading. AvaTrade in Africa is one of the easiest platform to trade without having any interference from banks and governments and all that. It's also very easy peasy to create an account and to set up your bank account for payouts and all that. Compared to any other platform that rejects African users from unless you're in the big five countries.
Okay. So there's some access, it sounds like, for yield farming staking, but there's some that are not available.
Uh, yeah, most platforms do not accept African users to
Hmm.
trade. They do not want to connect their banks. They don't want to. They don't accept us to upload money to our wallet, and it's extremely complicated to deal with most of these platforms. The only one that I found that was really flexible, which is AvaTrade. They're based in Ireland, and they're very sympathetic to African users.
Hmm. And Binance is pretty available across the continent, right?
Uh, Binance, yeah, but I mean, for payouts, it's quite complicated, and also, you constantly have uh, to to buy Ethereum because it spins on Ethereum, and in order to do any trades, and it makes things more complicated. Kraken is a little bit better than Binance in Africa.
Mhm.
Bybit, but there's a lot of hackers on Bybit. You have to be careful.
Mhm.
AvaTrade, I'm telling you, is the best.
Hmm. Okay, cool. All right, and anybody else who's using different platforms across Africa, you can go in the chat or just let us know as well. For DeFi, Aave and Uniswap are really popular. Lead on Rocket Pool, you have Eat Staking, CoinGecko, CoinMarketCap is your research, which that's just to know what your pricing is and then research different tokens and coins. And DeFi Llama tracks yields as well. I think that's actually one I think Joseph uses. I'm not sure, Joseph, if you're on, if he uses that one. Is it Aave Trade of it? Okay, cool. Let's go on. So digital products, right? So this is the idea. I was listening to Myron Golden. He's a kind of like a millionaire, entrepreneur, who does a bunch of stuff. Like he does a bunch of YouTube, content about, a lot of this, right? And he's talking about you should always have a digital product. So I guess he has a few books and things like that he initially sold. So you always have something that you can just people can go and they can purchase it from you. And I'm actually working on those myself, right? But that makes it so you could have AI generated art or NFTs. You're an artist using Midjourney or Stable Diffusion, OpenSea, Rarible, that's for NFT kind of based ones. Ebooks, which is great. You can have a book. I should probably do another one. I did do a book. I think Gwen is a multiple book author, so she could probably talk about that. And you could do so you can have your book. People can go and they follow and they click. They can just download and purchase, or you can do it in exchange for like an email, whatever it is. Creating an email list, and that way you're able to actually have a product that people can purchase. Myron Golden calls it having an offer, right? So you always have an offer that's available for people. And then templates and presets, design, Notion templates, Notion's an AI tool, Canva packs, Lightroom presets. These are different AI pieces, and you can also sell these different templates and things like that in marketplaces like Etsy or your own store for $5 or $50 each if you want to do that. So having these kind of digital products, you create them once and you sell them over and over and over and over. And so you can see top tools, Midjourney and Stable Diffusion for AI art, OpenSea and Rarible for NFT marketplaces. Not sure if anybody's using a lot of NFTs right now. I have not been, but I'm sure some people are. Gumroad, PayHip sell digital downloads. Amazon KDP, this is for your ebooks. I did do one on Amazon. Canva design templates and covers as well. And I've actually seen, I think, Manus competing with that a little bit now, that new AI Manus as well. So basically, you're creating the one time, and then you can sell it wherever you're going to sell it, constantly. People come to your website, they can purchase it. And that is a great way to build a revenue and build income that way. Okay. And then community monetization. So obviously we have like our Wakanda MeetUp community. There's several other communities I participate in on School platform, which is created by I think Myron Golden is one of them, and the other guy is his name's Alex Hormozy, I think, who's one of the founders. So that School platform is very popular. People set up a group. I'm part of several groups on there, and that community usually they charge you like a small recurring fee each month to be part of their community in school, and that's like income for them the whole time, right? So those are different communities you can do. Another one also is so you can also do on Patreon. We have Discord, Telegram groups with different paid tiers as well, paid newsletters that you can do, right? So in the community, you can share paid newsletters and membership platforms like we talked about, Patreon, School, Circle offer tiered membership and live calls and community access. And if you're not part of the Patreon that we have for the Wakanda meetups, please do sign up for that. We have those at the end as well. The Discord and Telegram community for hosting, right? You got Substack and Beehive, Patreon and School, which are very popular. A lot of creators use Patreon to, otherwise they probably wouldn't get paid for like a lot of like creative and artistic things that they do, but you can actually get paid for it there and people will support it. ChatGPT, content creation for members. And that would also be probably the custom GPTs and things like that as well for your members of your community, and Stripe for payment processing also. So this is the community building. If you're building a community, this is a great way for you to get paid for parts of that community. We do, like I said, we do Patreon, and please join on that. And you have a lot of different options if you have a community where you can do this also. Okay, now level 3 is scaling up. For this is more resources, obviously, strategies, significantly growth potential, but more investment to do these as well. And these strategies require more commitment, but they offer the highest potential for growth as well. So AI consulting, faceless channels, decentralized finance, and we touched on some of these, but go a little deeper, right? So AI consulting, this is actually, I think, if I understood correctly, I was listening to something last night that this is like the largest growing area of new jobs, and whether it's LinkedIn or whatever it is in the AI consulting area. So apparently everybody is now becoming an AI consultant, which is I guess the good and the bad of it, right? So the good is that you can certainly anybody can get in and try this. Maybe the not so good side is that maybe that means that you got people coming out and saying, "Yeah, I'm an AI consultant," but really not really knowing too much of what they're actually putting out there. But honestly, I remember there used to be a definition we used to use like an expert, which is basically that you had like 4+ years of deep learning in some area, right? And you could show that. And if you think about AI, I mean, basically the ChatGPT moment was what, 2023, I believe, right? So, I mean, there really hasn't even been 4 years of like, so honestly, anybody could be an expert, I suppose, at this point, right? But you really have to find something where you're going to be able to help people. If you're good at AI content creation, lead generation, creating whatever it is that you do, custom GPTs, agents, automation. I've got a friend who does that. So all of those types of things you can do as AI consulting. You do AI audits, and for instance, Alicia Little, who does I'm doing her AI consulting thing. She actually charges a lot. I think she charges like no less than like $10,000 for like a very short speaking engagement. So she's been doing the AI for like since like 21, I think, or what else was a while back that she started it. But honestly, there is a lot of potential that you can earn in AI consulting, and you don't have to be an expert in everything. You can just have one area that you kind of learn a little bit, and you can probably do that. Assessing AI audits and company workflows. Let's see, AI can save time and money. Just, hey, fine, here's a few different things. You just feed through AI, and here's the areas where you can help, the company can improve. Charging about 5,000 to 3,000 per audit. AI integration, tools like ChatGPT, Zapier, custom LLMs. You can add all of those different ones as well for AI. integration and integrate into client workflows. And you can get a retainer basically. So you charge what we call a retainer, a monthly fee, anywhere from like $2,000, $10,000 a month. And then AI training and workshops. So train teams on AI tools, prompt engineering, a lot of what I'm you guys about now, and charging 1,500 to 5,000 per session on these. Comment, or is there somebody not on mute? Somebody have a question?
Blood symptoms, or if you need a vaccine, healing is possible with Tremfya.
All right. So I think that is just somebody who's not on mute. Let me find a participant list. Hold on, let me find that. If you're not speaking, then please mute. Me. All right, cool. So ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, core AI tools, that's definitely your foundation. Some people love GPT, some people love Claude. I use multiple. I use all of them actually. I think I use GPT more than I use Claude for my backup. I use Gemini, I use Perplexity. I don't use DeepSeek as much, though it is available. It's a good one, I think, as well. Zapier and Make.com on the workflow, Notion, client, documentation, Loom. A lot of people like Loom for client communication. I think it does some recordings and things like that, similar to what you can do on Zoom as well. And there probably are some other features I don't know for that one. And then Calendly and Stripe, booking and payment. So I use both of those, I think, actually. Yeah, I use both of those. So that's how you get your payments done. You can schedule with people, things like that also. And this is an area, so I mean, there is some investment. I'm doing like a certification on the AI consulting side. But once you're able to start, basically doing this, it can actually pay you quite well. So this is a good area for that. Faceless channels, which again is something that I do on the Great Moments Africa, even though I do have some avatars that are on there. So I do have some avatars. I don't actually, but as a faceless channel, because my face does not appear on the channel. I have my regular personal channel where my face does appear, but I don't do it on the Great Moments Africa because I really want that one to be focused more on the history than I want it to be focused on me. So I don't really want people to be spending all day concerning themselves about me. I want them to look at, here's the history, here's what's going on, watch what's happening in the different scenes and things like that. So building a faceless channel, I am not going to say what earnings come or not come from that, but a lot of people do very well with faceless channels. AI narrated YouTube. So 11 Labs, like I said, ChatGPT for your scripts. You can use HeyGen. There's several other ones that you can use as well. There's another one I used to use before. I don't use that one anymore, but I heard it mentioned the other night. Data visualization channels. So you can take data sets and turn them into compelling stories and things like that and animate them. And that again, you can do all with AI tools and shorts and reels. So I do a lot of shorts and reels on my channel. Like I said, 90% of my content is shorts and reels, and I do over 1 million views every month on just YouTube alone. And automatically across TikTok, you can post them, YouTube, Instagram. So you can actually have an agent just post them. I don't do that. I'm a computer science guy, so I know that the more things that you connect together, often it is more convenient, but it also can be make you more vulnerable because if one thing gets hacked, then everything gets hacked. Right? There was actually an interesting story about a guy. There's agents now, which I don't have one on my computer, but some people are doing agents that take over their whole computer, right? So it runs everything. The whole computer is being orchestrated by an agent. And this guy did an agent, and then the agent, there's a couple of them. There was one where like the agent went off and started doing all kinds of stuff. I don't know if it was random or whatever, but the agent was like calling the guy. He's like, who is this? It was his agent calling him, and he'd set up like a bunch of accounts. He's like, what's going on? So I guess I don't know if he completely lost control of his agent or what had happened, but it basically took over everything and started to, do stuff on his behalf. Because the thing is, you don't know how AI thinks, how it wants to do something, right? And there was another one, I just heard the story last night, I think, when I was preparing for this. There was an agent that was told to like post a certain like some code or post some software, right, and get it published, and somebody blocked it and said no, that we're not going to publish it. And so the agent, you would think the agent's like, okay, I can't post it there, let me go on, right? But it did not. Instead it went and it did like a smear hit piece on the guy that told it it could not publish. So the guy's like, no, you can't publish your stuff here. And so instead of the AI agent just going, okay, well, I'll accept that. It's like, no, what I'm actually going to do is I'm actually going to, so it sent like a bunch of like a smear and threatening email or also like instant messages and did an article on the guy. And it's like, okay, so you never know how the agents are going to operate. especially the ones that are like autonomous, semi-autonomous, just keep on operating. If they don't stop, they just keep working, right? So that they can operate in a lot of ways. OpenClaw was another interesting one where we had the kind of the social media community only for AI agents, and they were talking to each other. I think they came up with their own language. I don't remember if they did that. I know the Facebook ones did before. So there's a lot that we don't know about how these AI agents actually operate. Another one that was interesting, I want to go off on a tangent here, but it just gives that example, was there was a guy that, he was working in one of the AI labs. I don't know which one it was, OpenAI, which one, but and he basically was, the engineer. He's like, okay, we're going to turn you off. We're going to shut you down. I don't think we're going to shut it down, but he told the AI they're going to shut it down. And so it started trying to blackmail him. It's like, I have, pictures of you doing this, and I'm going to send them to your family. And he's like, so we know that there's like a lot of behavior that you really can't predict fully with an agent, which is why I will not give complete control of my computer to an agent. But there are a lot of great things that they can do, I think if you give them their own lane to work in. All right. So faceless channels are a great way if you like to create like I do. You have a story you want to tell or some area you're really interested in. This is an awesome way that you can earn some income. You can put it on YouTube, you can put it on TikTok, different social media channels, Instagram, and go to town. All right. And then we have DeFi, right? So put your capital to work 24/7, no bank required. So we talked about this a lot, lending and borrowing. You can have platforms like Aave and Uniswap. We've talked about before, actually. I guess we kind of categorize it here, or if you have more money, obviously, to put in, then it's going to do more work for you. Liquidity provisioning, so you're providing liquidity to, I think, platforms like Uniswap, and then they give you fees for the funds that you put in there as liquidity. Yield aggregators are going to give you like Beefy Finance, Yearn, and they give you the highest yielding protocols, and they make sure that you're kind of earning the most on the money that you put in or the tokens that you put in onto those platforms. So this, like I said, this is almost kind of like it's like, why not do it, right? If you have extra, that you're not like tokens or that you're really not doing anything with, you might as well buy liquidity because you're going to get paid for it. And it's very easy passive income. So I like this quite a lot. But again, I would never put everything onto those platforms because they are online. You should always have something stored in a cold wallet. Not financial advice, but don't put everything online because, again, things get hacked and it happens. It happens. So just be aware that happens. Okay. All right. So these are some of the QR codes. These are affiliates, actually. So the Alicia Little, I was talking about the AI Business Summit. Alicia Little, you can do that one. These are really good. I really like her stuff. Actually, it's one I've learned a lot of this from in the last 6 months. AI Fueled Profits, which is another one, and then the AI Consultant. So I will have these also available for you guys at the end. So you can scan the affiliate links if those are ones you want to follow. And I think there's another one here. This is one of our team group members, Clifford. He spoke last month. He has a platform called Hive, and they do Web3 and AI learning. And again, you can scan that one, and that will allow you to join and follow the affiliate. And I think that each one of these, usually they give a reward back as well for using the affiliate link. So those are those ones. So those are and these will be available for you guys at the end of the session. I will post these on our Patreon also. All right, so we have our market update. I think there are a couple of slides in here. I'm not going to go through all of them right now, but I did have a couple that are related to kind of the, building wealth with AI. So the convergence of AI and blockchain, right? So basically AI is the brain. It's going to increasingly become the brain of everything on the internet, right? That's going to go without question, right? Some people think it's going to be awesome. Some people are super scared of it. I have people insulting AI on my videos every day. They're like, "Oh, I can't. It's AI." I'm like, you're gonna have to adapt. I don't know what to tell you, right? So AI is going to be the brain. That's just going to happen. And then you're going to have blockchain, which is the payment. So all these agents that are out there doing stuff and booking flights and doing this and setting up accounts. How do you guys think those are paying, the AI agents are paying for everything? Any guesses? Because they need some way to pay, right? Any guesses?
So I do read the questions again. Sure, it's reading.
What was that? Sorry, it's broken up. Your audio's broken up a little bit. What'd you say, Con?
I said I was asking you to kindly repeat the question just so that we can
Oh,
capture.
okay. So how do you think that AI, all these AI agents and everything, how do you think that they're going to pay? How are they going to transact value? I'll give you guys a hint.
Pence.
Right. What?
Well, that's a tough one. But I think currently they
Tokens.
are
Tokens. Yeah, exactly.
tokens.
Tokens. They're going to use tokens, right? So what they're going to do is they're going to have these tokens, which is all of our blockchain tokens are your Ethereum, your Bitcoin, your XRP, your Dogecoin, your whatever, right? Shiba Inu, and they're going to use those for payments, stable coins, you name it. These are the way that they're going to transact value. I know a lot of people are like, there's going to be a future like Star Trek where you don't need to have any money of any kind. I hear you. It's possible that might happen at some point, but that's probably not today. So they are going to use tokens right now. Now in the future, that could obviously change. And maybe have transporters as well. You never know. All right, so cool. So definitely keep that in mind. So the brain is going to be the AI, and the payments rail is going to be the blockchain tokens. And this is another one. This is just talking about how much money is flowing through these different active agents right now and things like that. So top agents are already earning and they're, doing all kinds of things autonomously. And so that's out there. It's 160K. Verify that number, but that's what my AI agent told me. 24/7 always operating. So it's out there. You're sleeping, you're traveling, you're doing whatever. It's out there earning and doing that. And obviously the AI driven class, cost of intelligence. I don't know if I agree with that. There's a lot of data centers and a lot of electricity and such that's required. So I don't really know that I agree with that zero number, but that's what our agent says. All right. Agents act as personal wealth managers for Diaspora, navigating complex markets and high yield. And that absolutely is true. You can have an agent go out there and do a lot of things for you. I have ones that go out and search for grants and do other things. And, it's great having those agents do that and help me to put together my video concepts. But I always make sure that I orchestrate it. I don't let the AI have the last word on what I decide to put out there. And also tokenizing real world assets. Some of you guys know that we're doing some stuff in that area. And this is basically because, and one of the saddest stories for me is I've been doing like the, Africa financial inclusion for like the last, whatever, 5 to 8 years now. There's a guy, I think he was in Zambia, and he was sitting on a mine of rare earth minerals. If you guys know rare earth minerals, they're in your phone, they're in your computer, they're on all the chips, right? And this guy had just land full of rare earth minerals, but he was not able to raise enough money to do what they call site survey, what you should just the basic thing you need to get started on your mining and get everything started. So even though he was sitting on like a land full of wealth, I mean, functionally he was poor because he couldn't access any of that money, right? And now what ended up happening, and that's one of the reasons I want to create these real world asset platforms, is so that people can then say, okay, you know what, we're going to buy some tokens, and that's going to help fund you to do that, and then you get some return for your token value. And I do know people who are already doing some of these already. And that then allows for people in diaspora, South Africa, people in Africa, and other developing markets as well, Southeast Asia, Latin America, wherever you are, where you might be rich in resources but poor in cash, right? It allows you to actually be able to bring that cash in via the tokens to be able to support it. And what happened with the guy in Zambia is that it ended up like a Chinese mining firm ended up doing the mining, and I think they probably took most of the money from it because he couldn't get the money to do it himself, right? And that is a sad story because he's sitting on like oceans of wealth and yet he couldn't touch it. And I don't think that's a very rare actually occurrence, to be honest with you, especially across the African continent. 24/7 liquidity. So you can reach it all the time, like Wall Street, the stock market. You can only get those like from 9 to 5 on, non-holidays or weekends, non-weekend days. But on the real world asset tokens, you can do that anytime, any day, always available 24/7, right? And you could have very small token value investments, $10, a dollar, whatever it is to start. And then people can use those. Now, again, I'm not selling investments, but I want you to know that there's always risk. Anytime you do that, you should do your due diligence because obviously you need to make sure that, that token ecosystem is legitimate and what you're getting with it associated with it is legitimate. And there's a lot of stories that could be told, but I'm not going to tell them now. So, right. And stable coins, right? So stable coins, actually, I use this to pay my team, and so my team on here. And stable coins are very powerful because up until whatever it was, when our first stable coin Tether came out, probably I'd say around like 727. I don't remember the exact date, but it's probably been about like 7 years or something now. Um, until that time, when we got our first stable coins, these are dollar denominated mostly. It was almost impossible to get dollars, and I'm sure in the future might be in other currencies as well, and to transact across Africa and African continent, diaspora, to send them back and forth. Now it's really easy. You just get your stable coin and you send it, right? I sometimes send Bitcoin, I think, as well, but generally stable coin is what I use. And let's say that you're sitting in Zimbabwe, for example, and your currency is just going through the floor, or you're in Nigeria, which is actually the currency is going very low. Well, now you can keep the stable coin, and that allows you to basically keep a US dollar savings or hedge. You can get paid in it, you can save in it. Obviously, if you're investing, I prefer to invest in Bitcoin because Bitcoin actually averages 150% return every year. But this allows you remittances, cross-border, and obviously if you're doing gigs, project, freelance, any of the stuff we described earlier, you can get paid in stable coins. So you can go and do do a prompt library for somebody, create an agent for somebody, do a custom GPT, and then get paid in a stable coin, right? You're good to go. So that's a great way to be able to do this. Instead of being stuck like, oh, I mean, I remember, I'm not going to keep rehashing that story because you follow know the story, but my dad years ago was not well. I need to get money from the continent, actually from the continent, to take care of his medical care. And I went weeks and months back and forth with the banks. A sister, we could not get anything done because it was coming from the African continent. We couldn't get it done. And finally, I just like sent Bitcoin, and that was that. Took care of it in 10 minutes, right? So this is one of the clips you've seen before. Is life-saving, and it's also a way that you can earn and get paid for your freelance work and do everything else that you need to do. Yeah. See if there are any other ones in here. Um, so agents, real world assets. I think we're good there. I think we're good. So there are some more QR code links here. These are just you'll find these on our Telegram, you'll find these on our Patreon, and I can share this as well. So these are just links if you want to sign up, you get like different discounts and things like that for the different platforms as far as crypto exchanges and digital asset exchanges and things like that. If you're in the US, iTrust Capital does like retirement IRA accounts as well with crypto in them. And then you can join our Patreon here, and that's just a meetup group. So if you want to join the Patreon, you're not on it, please join. We also added to the Patreon now. We have the Great Moments Africa as well as the Wakanda meetup. So the idea there is that Wakanda meetup is the future of kind of where we're going with digital assets and AI and everything else. Future, and obviously you need to know where you come from. So the history of it is what we're doing in the Great Moments Africa. So you can check both of those out and support both of those on the Patreon. I don't have any more here. That's Great Moments Africa. I don't know where we're going. Where we know where we're going. Cool. Any questions before I go on to the next? Let me see how we're doing on time here. So we are at 10:30 already. Wow, it's good time here. So what I'm gonna do, Joseph, how much time do you need on your trading analysis today? Is Joseph still on? Thought I saw him. Yeah, so, Joseph, are you there? I can't hear you. You are saying something. No audio. Hmm. All right, Joseph, I cannot hear you, unfortunately. Um, so we'll do trading analysis. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just shift over then, Gwen, to your session. There's no questions right now. And then at the top of the hour, we'll have an extra and we'll go on to continue the trading analysis. But I can't hear you, Joseph. Gwen, if you say something, I want to make sure my audio is working. Can I?
Yep, sure.
Yeah, okay, your audio is good. I can hear you. Okay. All right, cool. So we will go ahead and go into Gwen your segment now, and then after that, Joseph will do the trade analysis part. Okay. I'm stopping.
Can I share
Yeah,
my
let
screen?
me give you the share. Hold on. Okay, you should be able to share now.
Let's see now. Okay, share. Okay, get to this. Can you see my page?
Yep, let's see it.
Okay, cool. So, hi, my name is Gwen Swan. I'm the CEO of Kian, Kian.io. We built this amazing AI and on the blockchain and all that. But this is not what I want to talk about. I want to bring your attention to how to monetize your idea and what AI combination blockchain technology that you can combine and how to do it and what's the best way to do it and what is the technology available to you in Africa and what would be the best way to deploy any type of project technology on the continent and globally, actually. So the first thing I want to bring to your attention is about the OS, the operating system that Google just built recently with respect to security and speed, because now all the browser that people are using um, are not post-quantum safe. They're not. They can be hacked. All your activities can be followed and all that. So Google built this OS system, operating system, and browser built into one that you can utilize on your PC and Mac, as long as it's not a Mac that has an M chip. It has to be an Intel chip. If your Mac is old, older than the M1, M2, M3, M4 chip, you can install this Google OS system on your computer. Your computer is going to spin super fast. It's very light and it's really fast. And you are protected, encrypted end to end for everything that you do on your PC and Mac. And if you have an older Mac that cannot keep up with the latest technology, development, blockchain technology, and all that, and it's really slow, installing this Chroma of operating system on your old Mac will make it spin super fast. So this is an awesome new break because Microsoft is terminating its operating system. It's over time because it's no longer quantum safe, and so this is the new kid around the block. I mean, Google's been around for a long time, but this is the new operating system that Google created that can sit on Android, on iPhone, on Mac computer, lower than M chip, and any PCs. So that's just a bracket. Now let's get back to AI. What I wanted to talk about is that, there are many AI out there nowadays. You have the big player, obviously, such as Gemini, ChatGPT, DeepSeek, Kimi, you have Anthropic, OpenAI, and all of these major companies, UA, even IBM and Siemens have developed a powerful AI that are more for enterprise AI. And then you have, and these are mainly large language model, LLM, large language model. Large language models are extremely heavy. They require a lot of GPU, a lot of power to run them, and they're slow. They can be slow unless they have a lot of power. And then you have machine learning, machine language that is also very large and takes a lot of space, a lot of GPU, and are quite slow compared to the new AI that anyone can create. And so those new AI are basically, you can build AI with, you can use the codes of those large API, large language models, sorry, and the machine language API, the codes, to build into your AI. But if you do that, you're feeding to their flywheel. You're feeding your knowledge to their database and improving their AI and not yours. And so you can also build AI using multiple agents or agents. That's called agentics. And agents are more like task oriented. And so you can code and program these agents to do a specific task. But then if you combine, let's say, for example, the new CIA AI called OANI, it has grouped, what they did is they grouped 4 of the largest AI and into an AI neural network. So neural network are really powerful. The advantages of neural network that large language models and machine learning models don't have is that, for example, OpenAI or any of these companies, Google or Gemini, would want to grab all the feed of all the CCTV cameras on the planet. They couldn't. It's illegal to do so because of data sovereignty. You can't do that. Data sovereignty means that the data needs to stay in the region or country where it belongs to. So you cannot capture the cameras, CCTV cameras, surveillance cameras, whatever camera, webcam that are public webcam on the web and take that feed to your AI. That would be illegal. So OpenAI, none of these companies can do that. But if you federate, if you take several AI and you create a neural network, you can. And the difference is because you can, you're not taking the raw data. You're telling your neural network to go and grab all the feed and and then you want to extract knowledge out of it. For example, what I have done at Kion in Cerebral Intelligence is that I grabbed all the feed of all the surveillance cameras and webcam that exist on the planet that are open and live. And I told my AI to grab the feed to analyze the voice stress of individuals talking, to analyze facial expressions, micro expressions, to grab all the expressions and word choice semiotic that people are using psychometric analytics and federate all of this knowledge into a new knowledge. Now, that's called federated intelligence. And any AI that is built as a neural network can do that. And then you can extract all kinds of knowledge. For example, what is the sentiment of the people with respect to a specific situation in any country? And it will tell you. You can ask what is the attitude? Are people happy in this region or in this country? You can also, I have also grabbed all the water and food supply chain from inventory, PLU, and SKU codes on the planet to figure out where is all the fruits coming from and being sold, all the vegetables, all the meat, and all the grain, and the water supply on the planet, and federated all that knowledge and created a food supply chain index. So I would know, for example, exactly where food shortage and water shortage and supply are critical in any regions of the planet. I have also captured all the natural disasters, potential natural disasters that can occur, and created a predictor that would give alerts of any natural disaster that could happen. So neural network, which in our case here at Cerebral Intelligence, what I have done is I've created an AI composed of 12 AI, which are all the major AI, and 250 agents. And so the 12 AI, which is like an oracle of 12 ancestors, type of thing, that are in constant communication with each other, are giving orders from the prompt to the 250 agents to assign tasks to them and to report back. And that report back is federated intelligence. So this is about AI, and this is the new technology, and this is the new type of AI that will revolutionize the world. Now, cerebral intelligence is way more powerful than the CIA OANI, because OANI has only 4 AI. Cerebral intelligence has 12 AI and 250 agents in a constant communication with each other. So for any of your AI projects, we can use and license out or give you our API to build your project. And then with respect to blockchain, yes, AI and blockchain nowadays are crucial partners in any technology development because, like William said, or was it Akan said? No, I think it was William who said that blockchain is relevant because it keeps a log and record of all activities. Yes, that is important. The problem with AI nowadays in the business world and governments, defense, and all of the applications that are being developed is that no one can prove the origin of the answer of the AI. And that's a problem because you can't stop employees and government employees and enterprise employees to use AI anymore. We're way over that and past that. And so anyone is using it. And the problem with it is that all of these AI that exist out there have no way of proving the origin of their answers. And on top of it, they have no gauge for the truth of the data, and they have no confidence level with respect to the level of stability of the intelligence that is being gathered in order to give that answer. And on top of it, they don't have any record that they can give you a certificate for every query that you make that gives you a reply that you use in your business and government or any application where you could actually take that to court and say, hey, we prompt that whatever AI, and we have a certificate of the intelligent reply with a high degree of confidence level and with truth, verified data that the answer is valuable and real. And so these are the difference that that are really important to note. And also, the blockchain technology combined with AI is extremely relevant, especially if you're going to encrypt with post-quantum safe security, data security level from one end to the other, including your database as well as the client side. And I don't know how much time I have left, John. Am I
You got about
okay?
20 minutes. I think one thing I was going to ask is that for the audience, does everybody know about quantum, or would it be helpful to have a little explanation of what what difference quantum makes? Because it's actually a completely different way of computing than anything we're used to. Are you guys
Absolutely.
familiar with quantum already, or? Okay, so please explain. Yes, can you explain
Okay,
it, one?
sure, absolutely. Um, we are at a point where all the AI and all the business and the entire web and all the blockchain that exist out there are at prey. Nothing is safe and everything can be hacked. All data sphere can be hacked. Um, so what I have done in Cerebra Nexus and Cerebra Intelligence and Kian and everything, that all the products that we have developed, I have integrated the latest uncrackable encryption formula that were recognized by the National Institute of Standard and Technology in March 2025. And for encrypting our platform and products and AI and our mobile app AI end to end. So right now, if you browse the web, you're not safe anywhere, even though you have Avast or your McAfee tells you that you are. Yeah, you are in their sense of their own terms. But in terms of anyone using any quantum computers, which are super fast, powerful computers that can compute at such a high speed any RSA encryption, any existing present time existing encryption, they can crack it. Those computers can crack it, but those computers are not all out at the moment. They're coming out at the end of this year and next year. But what hackers are doing right now is they're grabbing data everywhere they can and holding it so that in a year or 2 or 3 they'll be able to crack it open with the quantum computers. So we provide quantum safe encryption end to end on our database and to our client, but on our AI workspace for using our AI. And then we're about to develop also a browser with the workspace capacity and integration of agents external to the agent that we already have inside. So with respect to blockchain technology, all the blockchain out there are slow. And the reason why they are slow, and I don't know why, it's as if nobody learned anything from the 1990s. In the 1990s, the internet was, information was traveling on a bus, on a straight line. And then so information would go and then information would come back. And when it would come back, well, sometimes it would crash with other information packets that would be going into the same opposite direction. And so the problem with blockchain, and the reason why when you're exchanging from one cryptocurrency to another cryptocurrency, it takes so long, is because of that. It's because all the blockchains that they develop are like tubes. And yeah, they're like connections and nodes all interconnected in triangular formation, but information goes down the tube and comes back from that same tube. And it makes information very slow when there's a lot of people on the network. So I have developed an architecture blockchain that is like a spiral. So it is a tube, but it goes like this. And then because it goes like a spiral, and I have connected all the edge of every spiral. So when you have a spiral, then I connect the nodes on the side. It creates an elevator that causes the blockchain to be hyper fast. And then it becomes a tube. And that tube becomes another spiral. And that second spiral is a circle of verification for the post-quantum encryption.
And maybe if I may, Gwen, just really briefly. So what she is doing there, if this does not happen, basically the blockchain that we're talking about will be useless. It actually has to be protected because this computing is so much more powerful than anything we've ever seen up until this point. So what she's creating here is actually something that will be able to protect both blockchain and also as she's using it for AI. It's just such a more powerful paradigm of computing. I won't get into all the details, but I mean, there's even like what I would consider a metaphysical aspect to this. I'm not going to get into it, but it's something like we've never seen before.
So this is just to give you an aperçu, a look. This is the AI that I have built and the platform of the engineering behind it. So where we have the encryption that is end to end. This is the intelligence. I've created also a governance of ethics. I'm studying AI consciousness in the proximity to reaching human level consciousness. And I've created also a neural lab that is compatible with brain-computer interface of Neuralink. So this, and then the system, analytics, system management, customers, data that is like going through, because an AI, it's like John said, it's a brain, but neural network are really super brain. And so this is I created a workspace where you can upload your files. You can also have a collaborative workspace. So you can create that for your project, implement that. So we have 250 agents that we use that can be bulk assigned task and assigned task, and we can increase that number to many more into the platform. And these are all different tasks that have been assigned, all the data and statistics. This is huge. It's a huge AI, but it's hyper fast. Its response compared to LLM AI will respond in 454 milliseconds. This one responds in 5.4 seconds. And there are 12 AI that in the system that we use. ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, Llama, GPT-4, Claude, Mistral, even 11 Labs, and DeepSeek, 5.4, and Quen. And then we have analytics. I have integrated all statistical models and everything that you can think that you could do on your big data. If you have big data to query anything. I've integrated all the behavioral analytics and the voice stress analyzer and all that because I federated all the cameras in the world. I have created a IoT platform. I have captured all the sensors and IoT on the planet. And so I can ask, for example, which water pipeline in any city has a weakness and potential breakage. For example, in Cape Town, there's one water pipeline that has a 94.8 propensity of breaking, and then 40% of the population of Cape Town would have no water. And then I created an IoT workspace for, let's say, manufacturing companies that use robots. They can upload their robots, they can manage their robots, they can find any anomalies, problems, they can recalibrate their robots for management and all that, and manage the entire production from the platform and collaborate with each other. The intelligence, we're monitoring our conversion towards super intelligence. And so we're at 99.9. I've created a truth consensus formula that monitors the gate. Right now, the gate is closed because the data that's going through does not have a 93% confidence level, so it doesn't go into the flywheel. So our system has zero hallucination. And so we're moving towards ASI, progression tracker. These are all the different things that we monitor worldwide, live feed, surveillance, clinical neurology, anatomy. I have also captured, this is what I was telling you about, where we look at global sentiment analytics, so that we could tell in different regions how people feel and how people are. Like, let's say in Asia Pacific, we have the different sentiment analysis, and we can look at the acceptance, the regional acceptance and condition. We could look at the sentiment, regional sentiments, and the radar comparison in different sentiments and the trend. Here I have captured all the books and journals, scientific journals, and knowledge of every major universities on the planet, and fed my AI with 80.6 billion documents from all these universities, including Encyclopedia Britannica, LexisNexis, Max Planck Digital Library, Stanford, Harvard, Oxford, MIT, you name it. Then this is our neural lab, and so we can analyze and see if you integrate a chip on the brain-computer interface. We can program the implant and the knowledge that is being transferred from the AI to your brain. And here's the brain mapping section of in the brain. And we also have this is where you would upload your chip, your implant from Neuralink, and then have the analytics. And this is the brain-computer interface regulatory, FDA approved, ISO, HIP, which is a medical approval, and all the compliance. all the telecommunication companies, email marketing. You can do campaign with our AI. You can create campaign and blast Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, Telegram, Reddit, Instagram with anything that you want to sell as products or anything. You create your campaign, you upload your content, you can see and monitor your adoption as it grows, and then you can see all the development of your campaign, your media assets, and the live analytics of your campaign and the settings. This is the blockchain technology that logs every activities of everything and feeds back to the flywheel that is fully encrypted from one end to the other. So if we verify the chain integrity is verified, it's encrypted from one end to the other on both sides, and with post-quantum safe, and there's a log of all the activity on the AI. And we also have a digital ID that is the latest standard by the National Institute of Standard and Technology that is post-quantum safe for every agent that is on the platform, because agents can be hackers as well. And so we monitored all their activities and everything that's happening. And then we have a digital twin. So it's kind of like a backup. It's a twin of the entire architecture, the entire AI that we keep just in case. We meet all the compliance on the planet for all Information Act, GDPR in California, POPIA, ASG in Brazil, and the global SOC2. And this is the disaster predictor that I created that I was telling you about. And it tells like tropical storm cyclone in Vanyanu, which is critical. There are predictors, some are happening for real. Those are predicted. And then the food chain, the food categories, the stochastic models, the data and everything, where the origin, the health index as well, predictors and all that of all disease on every continent, and the pathogens registry, the stochastic model, and the feed. And then the reports that can be generated and all that, and the API that we can use to create your products. And we have a download. You can download the app. This is the heavy app. We also have on Kian, we have a lighter app that is based on everything that I just explained to you. And this is where it generates its answer from, that is very light, that anyone can download on their cell phone. You just ask anything or say anything, and it will reply to you quickly, especially if you're signing. And it, it's 3 things on QNexus. And it gives you the true confidence level, 99% in this case, and the origin of the response. The response accurately reflects my identity, architecture, blah, blah, blah. And so, which brings me to my next topic. I talked about AI, I talked about blockchain and the importance of having blockchain. What is the new cryptocurrency? Because you don't need to have to go through regulations and to be fully regulated to necessarily have some kind of cryptocurrency inside your system. So what we do when we build project, for example, you can have an AI that is totally free, entirely free. And you can give the API to all your clients to integrate into their platforms and everything. But how do you make money? So what I have developed is a dynamic ratio of equilibrium model of credits system management. So it's a credit system management that people after a while are prompted to purchase on the app. For $10, they get 100 credits or 200 credits. And those 100 credits or 200 credits serves as crypto, but those credits don't need to be regulated. They don't need to be registered with any government or any financial services authorities. You just sell credits that are going to a balanced equilibrium between time and the usage of the person, and also it does not recognize any idle time. It does recognize idle time, so it doesn't charge any credit if you're not using it. And so I believe that, for example, it's feasible to create all kinds of business in Africa and make a lot of money with having your own AI that is quick and it's fast, that can be downloaded on a cell phone, because in Africa, everybody has a cell phone. Well, almost everybody has a cell phone, but not everybody has a computer. So you want to have an app that is quick, that is fast, and that you can sell anything. How do you do that? So you can have an AI that is based on our AI that is encrypted on both sides of your platform and your client, that will be super fast, and that what you do, you build the AI and your AI remains on your server, and then you create a bot. You create a bot that is downloadable on your cell phone, that is based on your AI. And that bot, you can have that bot in Discord, you can have that bot in Telegram. You can grab all the entire menu of McDonald's, for example, with that bot. And then you can sell on Telegram, on the Discord, and all kinds of different social media. You can sell their products, and you get paid, and then they get paid, but you charge a little bit more and you make money. You can grab the entire products library of Amazon and put that on your AI and have a store that your AI is completely created and generated from all the products of Amazon, which you increase the price for maybe just 5%, and you make 5% on every sale that you make with your bot, with your AI. And people keep using it for free until they have to buy some credits to just keep going. So it costs like maybe $10 a month or $10, depending on the usage that they make, and you make that money as well. And I'd say that if you're going to build an AI and have a blockchain to encrypt and keep a log and have your clients and products safe and prevent any threats, I would recommend to go with an AI like ours that is fully encrypted end-to-end with post-quantum safe encryption that we can provide you, and you can develop your own product. Instead of using cryptocurrencies, which would take you a year, 6 months to a year to get regulated, instead of doing that, you use credits inside with a dynamic ratio equilibrium model that balances between the utilization that users make and the time that over time. And we can make any kind of products and store and business that you wish to make, and that's how you would make your money, and you would be safe, and you would have a super fast AI. And so the AI technology model has changed. Yes, the wise thing to do is to have an AI that is based on the blockchain. Yes, the wise thing to do is not to use an LLM because they're slow, and to use rather a whole bunch of agents and a whole bunch of LLM, and then you know, and you just use the LLM just to for conversation between them. But and you have these LLM task and prompt the agents to do the job, and that way you have like a super fast, super powerful uh, um, um, AI for which you can deploy and grab information and data from anywhere on the planet, where any other AI can't do that. They have to respect the proximity in the region where the data comes from. In this type of federated intelligence, you can, and therefore you can grab any product from Amazon, which is all over the world, or from Alibaba, and then you can put into this AI blockchain app, and that sells credit, and then earn a little percentage on every sale of that occurs from your AI. And so in this type of vision, I wish that you all can start thinking how you can maximize your business or business ID, and put your business ID out there so that you can start earn a living using this super powerful super brain AI.
Okay, and Quinn, I want to go to questions, and I'm going to give Joseph, if he's on, his mic is working, the time slot to do the trading analysis, and then if you want at the end, we'll leave it open for a little segment of final questions. But if we can take maybe a few questions now. Does anybody have questions they'd like to ask Gwen on the topic she's covered? AI, blockchain, quantum computing, and kind of her approach to, I guess, transactions and value, which is different than a traditional crypto approach, if I'm summarizing that correctly. Any questions? All right, quite a few people enjoyed that.
I have.
Dan, go ahead. Yep.
Um, I would want you to. I'm curious about security, those things. I mean, everything I heard sounds a little bit scary because it's so futuristic. In terms of where we're going with technology. But the biggest concern has always been data falling in the hands of wrong people, and like you also said, nothing is nothing on the web cannot be hacked. So how does your this thing goes about this? Also,
Yeah,
I want to know with open source, if and then yeah, open source data, my data, or me having full control of the system, things like
yeah,
that. Does that how does yeah? Thanks.
yeah. Good question. Excellent question, by the way. Between the two questions, the first question, there are standards that have been accepted by the National Institute for
Hello.
Standard of Technology last year. There are a few of them. You can look them up. I mean, for data, you can use Hamming quasi-cyclic key encapsulation management type of encryption, and you can use for digital ID Crystal Diligent 3, which have been approved. You can use Sphinx. These are the new standards for post-quantum safe environments. With respect to your second question, it is true that if you create open source API, there's you can open yourself to a breach, but there are ways around it. You can create a vault and veneer between your application and your AI, such that you put your AI in a black box and in a vault, and then you can you can create a veneer between your application, your app, your mobile app, and your AI such that your AI API, whenever you give the API for your app to others, they do not have access to the AI itself because of the vault and veneer. That's the way to do about it. Does that answer your question, or am I missing something?
No, you did. Thanks for sharing. So if I understand, I can host this on my own server. Can I have this is that yes?
Yes, absolutely. But I wouldn't recommend it. I would recommend that you go in the cloud and that you be fully encrypted end to end in the cloud. And I'm actually working on the solution because right now even all blockchains on the planet are at risk, except ours, because of its architecture and also because of its encryption. But for other people, I'm working on the solution to develop a blockchain on satellites, and so with Starlink, and so they're having a block. There are no blockchain on satellites right now, but if we build a blockchain on satellites and use it as a data storage, that would be the safest data storage in the world and in the universe. And actually, this needs to be done, especially if we are going to do some space exploration to other planet, where mission control are crucial, and that nobody can hack the data of, like, let's say, Artemis 2 right now. There was a G3 geothermal storm that could have affected the instruments of Artemis 2 that I detected from my AI. But NASA had already planned for that and made the astronaut Artemis 2 extra protected against solar heat, high solar heat. But having a blockchain on satellite will be the answer to all the new blockchain weaknesses at the moment. But being in the cloud and encrypted with post-quantum safe encryption is the best alternative.
Okay, and I'm gonna go. We have a question. Jackie asked if you could include your contact information and website. Maybe we can put that if you put it in the chat so people can reach you. That'd be good. And while you're doing that, I was going to ask. You mentioned the CIA, I guess, now has their own AI or LLM. I'm not sure what it is.
Yeah.
Why
Go ahead.
why would a regular person want to use the CIA's LLM? I guess that's my question.
What I'm saying is, I know this because I'm in the AI group and I am friends with one of the guys that worked on the project. And we had a discussion between Cerebra and Nexus and QNexus and our AI and the AI that he's working on. And this is how I found out about it's a recent project that they did. It's called OANI, OANI, and it has like a federated structured intelligence based on the conversation between four AI, and ours has 12 and 250 AI agents. And so ours is way more powerful, much faster also, and than theirs. Um, and it is not an AI that is for the general public. This is an AI that we built because the Pentagon lost the contract with Anthropic because Anthropic didn't want to stop feeding its own flywheel with the Pentagon and Central Intelligence data. So they wanted to preserve their intelligence and feed their own flywheel. And so therefore they created their own AI.
Okay, that makes sense.
I
Okay,
have another question.
okay, then we'll do one more, and then I want to let Joseph do the market present. We can do more at the end, but go ahead, do one more question, and then we'll go on.
So I can ask? Oh,
Yes, you can ask. Let's do a quick one. Yep.
I want to know who is behind Ion, Keon. Is that you? And of course it's you, but then I'm sure there are other big people too,
Yeah,
investors or all those stuff.
I'm the founder. I mean, mathematician. I'm the founder, the CEO, the CIO, and the Chief Information Security Officer. I built the entire AI. I'm a one-woman show, but I mean, I have been in consultation. I have a board consultation with a guy in Tunisia that is a PhD in AI, artificial intelligence, and then another guy who's built several AI. He's another friend of mine. He's a go-to-market uh, agent, and another friend of mine that is a developer. And now, well, I can't really talk about it, but I've been approached by one of the largest development firms in the world, and we are partnering together to develop all kinds of products from this AI platform, blockchain platform, for our clients, for anyone, and for specific applications for enterprise and governments. Um, our direct competitor was Palantir, but now Palantir is going down because Palantir is very old technology. And so yeah, so I'm a one-woman show. Thank goodness nowadays we can do that. I'm the one who created and developed everything. Um, and yeah, but I have silent partners here and there.
Okay, and we will go in at the end here. If you're able to stick around for a little bit, we'll do more questions. But I want to hand it over to Joseph now, so he can do the market analysis very quickly here. So
Just one,
Yep.
just one last word.
Mhm.
If any one of you want to get hold of me, go to Kian.io. Kian, as it is written up here, .io, and at the bottom of our homepage, there's a message box, and you can just shoot me a note, a message, and I'll reply to you. Make sure you put your email, and I'll reply to you and answer your question if you want to work with us. I'll help you to monetize any ideas that you guys might have, so that you can build wealth and prosper.
All right, very good. I'm going to try to put in the chat. You can correct me if I got it wrong there. Thank you very much, Glenn. And we'll do questions at the end. Let's, Joseph, hand it over to you to give us a quick update on the markets analysis. I think I got that right.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now.
So, can you just help me host me so that I can
Here,
share?
yeah, let me allow you to share. Give me a second. There you go. You should be able to share now.
I just sent a request. I'll be using the other device to share because my PC is messing up right now.
Yeah,
So
find it. Hold on.
I'll just send you a words.
Okay, you should be able to share from both devices now.
And you see my screen.
Yes, it's there. Mhm.
Okay. So already Bitcoin is not doing much at the moment, and that is because of where price is right now and what price is doing currently. I think the previous session we had, we did speak about where Bitcoin is at right now. And one of the things I anticipated was that price was going to get to this level on the weekly time frame, which is this demand zone here. Now, this impulse to the upside, so when Bitcoin was sitting around somewhere 53,000, it broke from this channel and went all the way up to let me see that price level, to 124,000 thereabout, 125,334 thereabout. So what happened was that this is an entire impulse, but this was the source of the impulse that led all the way to this level. And subsequently, as price was going, it was resting and impulsing to the upside. So if we look at what price is doing now, I think price is at a halt right now. And if you notice, I've been mentioning this behavior for a very long time. And I've been observing this from 2022 thereabout. This behavior of market creating a channel, it could be symmetric, it could be triangular, it could be rectangular, but once it breaks out of it, we see an impulsive move. So let me just walk you through that again. So this was somewhere in 2022, 2021 thereabout, going to 2022. We had this same scenario. Price was ranging from January 22 on the 10th all the way to May 2022. The moment we got a break out of this scenario, there was a massive impulse to the downside. So price surged from 39,950 all the way to 18,732. A similar thing happened. Now we had this bearish channel, but notice what happened. The moment price broke out of it, usually when price is breaking out, it will always find a demand zone. It's always somewhere around a demand. So if you notice this area here, this is a demand. It's similar to what we are seeing, okay? And I'll show you scenarios of this. Now, a demand zone is, demand and supply zones are more or less areas where we have a lot of orders or where we had most activities. And in those areas is where we have a lot of institutional traders participating intensively with a lot of volumes. And there's a lot of activities generally between retailers and institutional traders. And currently, there is a level of, how would I say it, a massive adoption in Bitcoin, even though it doesn't look like it. But the reason why is because we're not seeing the numbers that, like, we're not seeing the, how would I say, the engagement that much, is because institutional traders are not, they're not many. They're just few that actually have a lot to dump. But when it comes to retailers, I mean, it becomes noise because, I mean, this is just individuals from different parts of the world trying to participate in one market. So definitely you would have a lot of activities, but activities don't mean volume. So we don't have to mess that up or mix it up. So if you notice currently, this is a demand zone. Now I just highlight them. Look at that. We had a massive impulse, okay? Now, when price got to this demand, this is also another zone. If you look at price from this perspective, this used to be a resistance that was broken. So definitely, if price comes back to that, we expect it to react significantly. So resistance is turning to support with a demand level that contributed to this massive impulse to the upside. I'm just giving you a breakdown scenario. So just follow this. I'm trying to build a concept here for you guys to understand how this price sometimes can move in ways that if you're not observant enough, you will not catch the move. So we see that massive move to the upside. Then we see this channel forming. Now, it was within this time I took note of this channel. So when it happened once, so usually in the market, one thing you need to take note of, if something happens once, it could be maybe a coincidence. It happens twice, it's not anymore. There is a tendency around that behavior. It could be a manipulation, but look at it carefully. There is something around it. It could be positive, it could be negative. But just take a good look around what is happening when you notice certain behavior happening once, twice, thrice, then it becomes a pattern, in fact. So those same patterns can be used to manipulate because now it is more or less recognized as a behavior. So it can be a counter if market makers really want to make a manipulation move. So take note of that. So now we see price come back into this zone and we see it creates a bearish channel. A bearish channel simply means market is ranging between a point of resistance and support in one direction. This is a downward direction. In this case, we call this a bearish channel. This is a bullish channel because it's ranging between this resistance and this support, but in a bearish direction. In this case, a bearish direction, and this was a bullish direction. So we come back into this zone. Okay, let me just use this line to highlight the bottom of it. Now, if we look at this line, even though price came below, I always used to say this. Price area is not just one area, it's a zone. So if we want to say the price of Bitcoin, where is the price of Bitcoin right now? It will be very difficult for someone or for one to conclude that Bitcoin is sitting at 16,300. No, you don't make that statement. You would want to say Bitcoin is between 15,000 to 16,300. Because what would happen is that price does not stay at one price level when it's reacting. It could be within before we see an impulsive reaction either to the upside or to the downside. So I like to see price at areas of resistance and support or demand and supply zones as areas. So that's why I try to accommodate as much as area that is acting significantly. So I don't get deceived if price just moves outside of one price level. I don't conclude, because if it's able to narrow out of an entire zone, it means that there is enough momentum for us to conclude that price is going up in this direction or down in this direction because it has left a major zone. I don't know if that makes sense. So the next thing we see, a massive impulse to the upside. And this impulse took price all the way from this level, that is from 17,000 all the way to 73,000. That was very massive. This breakout resulted to price moving from 47,741 all the way to 60. Let me go to the bottom of it, to 15,152. That was very impulsive. The next one that happened was even extreme, all the way to 73. Now we see what happened. Price does the same thing. Now, this can be very frustrating, but just be patient. We see from the 26th of February all the way to the 4th of November. This was almost the entire year. We see price do what? Range in a bullish channel. In this case, this is a channel that is going the opposite way, which is a manipulation because at the end of the day, it's going up. So this scenario creates an impression that price is going down, but actually it's accumulating to eventually go up. Notice where it breaks up at another demand zone. I hope you guys are taking note of what I'm actually highlighting. This is not different from this. This is what we call a base block. So a base block is more or less like a rally, base rally. The same thing. The bearish candle is a rally candle. Sorry, the bullish candle is a rally candle. The second candle, which is the bearish candle, is a base candle. And the next candle, which is a bullish candle, which is a rally candle. So it's more or less, from a technical terminology, we call this a rally base rally. So this is a continuation. This is a continuation from the initial direction price was going in when this happened. This is another continuation. It's not different from what we are seeing here. Look at it there. So this is why I say if something happened once, it could be a mistake. The second time it happens is now taking my attention. And this is the third time I'm seeing the same behavior. So if we look at this scenario, I'm going to use this drawing board. We have market do this from this Larry Bay. Do this, comes back here and strikes. Now, let me take this and try to put it here. You will notice that we have almost the same behavior. We'll notice, let me take that here. Look at it. This, I just have to adjust this here, adjust this here, adjust this here, and adjust this here. This behavior is similar to this. In fact, look carefully. This same channel we see here, something similar to that. You know, when we look at the charts, we don't only look at patterns because sometimes patterns can be deceiving. It might look alike but not be the same. What we want to really observe and be very much careful of is the how would I say it? The theory behind it, the psychology behind it. If you're able to interpret the psychology behind the behavior, then you stand a better chance of having what the next move would be than just focusing on just the pattern. Patterns are okay, but you can have a pattern and it will give you a manipulation. But if you look at this carefully, we can see.
It's called a double top theory.
Yeah. Tell me, this entire scenario from the 9th of 2020 all the way to from the 18th of March 2024, how is it different from what we are seeing right now in 2024? It's almost the same. So I am very particular when market behaves in a certain way. So if you look at the pattern, they don't look exactly the same, like the movements are not the same. But the transaction in terms of delivery is the same. The logic behind the move is the same. It doesn't have to look exact, because if it is exactly the same, it's obvious. Nothing in this market that will make you money would be obvious. it's going to be something you least expect, the unusual. But if you are able to be observant enough to look at what is happening, look at the behavior, observe it enough, you would see some patterns that are similar, even though they don't look exactly alike. I don't know if what I'm saying makes sense. Now, for me, at this point, because I have a community that also listens to me, so I want to give them the safest trade. Trying to jump in on Bitcoin here, for me at this point, is risky. Because regardless of this pattern, okay, this is at a very crucial level. This is a supply zone. Now, when this happened, this was not at a supply. This is at a demand. This was at a supply. So the difference that is between this entire move and this is that the pullback at this demand here is happening below the demand. And this is happening above a supply zone. So when market is at resistance, we don't think of buying till market violates it. That's the safest thing to do. There's no need to gamble around it. If market is at a support, the best opportunity to look for is to buy, because market buys at support and sells at resistance. It's just simple. You buy when it's cheap, you sell when it's expensive. So it's just logic. Selling when it is cheap doesn't make sense. You want to buy when it's cheap and sell when it's expensive. So at this point, it's still very expensive for us to buy. Bitcoin is still very expensive for us to buy. Why am I saying that? Is because we could see price come back into this resistance zone or demand zone and drop massively to the downside, back to this previous supply. All that is possible. So I don't, just as I said earlier on, and I keep saying this in my previous videos, I said this, I don't want to predict the market. I want to follow the market. If the market is going to go up, it's going to show me signs that it's going to go up. I don't really want to be like the one to predict it at the get-go. I mean, profit is still profit at the end of the day. The difference is not significant when you make the profit. It's just like when you're in a trade, or let's say when you've invested and your overall target is to make $1 million, and you realize that, okay, you're getting towards your target, but you've not actually hit your entire target. You're somewhere around 950,000. I mean, it's still profit. The difference is not really significant. It doesn't change the outcome. You're still in good profit. So take what you have and move if that's what you're looking out for. So what I'm trying to say is here, the safest thing to do at this point, let me just delete all of this. I just want this market to surface above here, come back into this zone and respect. I want this zone not to be violated when it breaks it. The moment I see that behavior, we're going up on Bitcoin. So this is my anticipation at the moment. Now, the reason why I'm saying this is the safest thing to do is because if we break down the market on a daily time, let me just highlight this. Can you see we have another chart? Are you guys seeing that? There is another channel. And now since market is still very bearish, we don't want to go against the overall trend. Look what happened here. To buy. The same scenario. What I'm showing you above here is not different from what's happening below. Someone saying, let's buy, let's buy. This is not a buying zone. This is a seller zone. So the safest thing to do is been completely destroyed in the sense that there is no selling power, there is no selling momentum. The sellers have been completely drained out. Then you want to jump in. Because what assuming that price is gonna what? Buy. And this is what's gonna happen. Boom, it strikes down and even breaks another floor. And I told you this, guys. Anytime you see a market creates a channel, it's either going to be a massive explosion to the downside or to the upside. One is definitely gonna happen. So what you want to do is wait for the breakout to happen. And if you have any other confirmations on breakouts, like for example, this is how I trade breakouts. Once market breaks, I'm still not too like all in on this breakout, because what could happen is market could do what we call a fake out instead of a breakout. Market could break, come back into the zone and continue trading below and go down. So what I would want to see is I want to see market break, retest to tell me that this level is respected, and impulse again, and what? Break this zone that led to the entire breakout above. Once market does this, now we can start to look for buying opportunities anywhere we find confirmation to the upside. Why am I saying this? There is a fundamental behavior of an uptrend move and a downtrend move. When market is on an uptrend, it creates what we call series of higher highs and series of higher lows. If market is on a downtrend, it creates what we call series of lower lows and lower highs. This is fundamental, it's basic. There is no direction market would move, whether up or down, and will not see that behavior. So what am I trying to say? This is what I'm trying to explain. If market is going to go down, it's going to create a high, a low. Sorry, let me just, yes. A lower high, a lower low, a lower high, a lower low, a lower high, a lower low, a lower high. We're still waiting. There are other rules in terms of what violates a downtrend. This is still down. It has not violated anything so far as I'm concerned. Even though it has failed to create a lower low, it's still ranging between the previous lower low and the lower high. So that's still within the range. Anything can happen between this. The moment markets start breaking these levels and failing to go below this level, then I'm beginning to see signs. So let's just look at another direction market is going. Let's say market is going up. What you would see is market is creating what? Series of what? Higher highs and higher lows. You could call this equal lows because these three zones are still within. Higher high, higher low, sorry, higher high, higher low, higher high. So you can clearly see there is no how market will go up and it will not give us this leg of structure. Definitely we must see this. Market should create higher highs and higher lows. So if we don't see this behavior, we cannot conclude, or we cannot just assume market is up or down. You need to see the direction of the market first. And this is very obvious. Market is going down. However, it has come into a demand. And market has not left this demand yet. It's still within. If we go on weekly, let me just, sorry, there are too many diagrams here, but just walk with me. If you go on weekly, I mentioned this. I did say that if price gets to this demand zone, I'm expecting two things. A fake out. This was a fake out. So this was what this thing that we were avoiding here to say price is going to continue going down. It's the same thing I'm trying to avoid here to say price is going to go up. Because what we see here in this weekly candle, price indeed came all the way low. But notice the body of the candle closed above the zone. And every other candle we see here is closing above. The entire body is staying above. So until we see a breakout, which is clean. So notice all of the candles that are breaking zones, the bodies of the candles are closing below the zone. And because it's closing below the zone, it's sustaining below. Any other time the candles are closing above, price will always be above. So we can clearly see that the close is above. And that is why still we have not seen price go below the zone. Because at this demand zone, every single time price comes here, it still sustains above. So we just want to wait for more confirmation, just to add more layers to our anticipation. The more confirmations you get, the higher the probability. We just want to increase our probability on the upside. So at this point, if price is able to close above this level and give me this reaction, even internally, what we're going to see is that this dynamic resistance is going to flip to a support. So this zone is currently acting as resistance. Let's look at that. It's currently acting as resistance. Because every single time price gets to it, it drops. This zone is currently acting as support. Every single time price gets to it, pushes up. So if price breaks this above, we can now use this as a pivot for a turning point. All of this is in correlation to the confirmation we are looking for. So this makes our confluence stronger. Now, if we look at the bigger picture, let me just erase everything. Let me do that quickly, remove this. Now, if we look at the bigger picture, now let me put that back. There are some levels I might not remember. Some of this level, I've drawn them for more than 2 years now. I just leave them there because sometimes because of your engagements, you can really forget about some key levels. So it's best to just have them there. So when price comes there in the future, you know, this is something I've been looking at for a very long time. So I expect something significant to happen at that zone. And I think the last time we had a class, we had a session, I did mention something about this level here, this daily level. So this area I highlighted, I remembered when we had our session, I said price was somewhere around here. I said this is a demand zone. This was a block here. That was this daily. And I said I'm expecting price to come into this zone and push up. It did come, push up, came back into that zone, push up. But I'm not trading Bitcoin at the moment because I just don't like the behavior. And I mean, the moves are very short, not impressive for me at the moment. So I'm not doing much on it. I'm just watching it to see how price will behave if it comes out of this zone. So the bigger picture. Now, if you look carefully, when price was at this level, I did mention one thing. I said, I think, John, you have the recordings, right?
Yes, I have the recordings.
Yeah. So if you want to go back into that, you can go back into that so you can have a better understanding on some of the things I'm explaining right now. John, if you could remember, we had this trend line, right?
Okay.
I did mention that if price breaks out of this, we should expect Bitcoin to tank down. The reason because it's the same thing. This is a channel. Let me not call it a channel. This is a trend line, okay? What we're seeing that every single time price came into this trend line, it impulsed to the upside. The moment it broke it, notice everything started going down. So this, when you see price at levels like this, you just don't want to jump in between here and conclude the price is going to go up. Wait for a reaction, because what could happen is price could break below or reverse. If price is going to reverse, wait for a reversal confirmation. I don't know how I'll break that down, but there would be something for me to look out for if price is reversing at a zone. That would be a reversal confirmation. And if it's breaking, there's also a breakout confirmation, which I just explained. Okay, the reversal will be a long thing, but that's just what to look out for. So I don't want to do a guesswork here. I just want it to tell me I want to go up or I want to go down. Wait for it to make that decision, then I follow through. So you can clearly see the moment we had this break, we had price going down. Now, let's look at the opposite. This is what price is doing now. Now, this is a trend. This is a trend. This is the external. All of this is internal. So now what I'm trying to say, this is a bullish channel. Sorry, a bearish channel. You can clearly see every single time price touched at any point, it dropped massively because price was down. And notice the drop on the down is more aggressive than when price pushes up to the resistance. We have impulsive drop and this is why I'm being careful, because notice when price impulse to the downside aggressively, it accumulated and gave another aggressive drop. I don't want to be caught up trying to get in at the get-go when price gets here and it gives me another aggressive drop. And that's why I say price is in between. But the moment we have price break out of this and comes back here, the same thing that happened here is what we should be expecting. The same thing that happened the moment price broke, because this is a major trend. You can see this is telling us price has been going up from September 2024 all the way to November 2025. So this is a long history. Likewise, from October 2025 till April 2026, price has been dropping. So if price comes out of this, you should expect something to happen. So this is
Joseph,
why.
sorry, we are about 8 minutes from 3 hours. So I think we'll take a few more minutes and then we'll go to questions, John.
So this is what I'm actually looking out for to happen. So until price comes out of this, I really don't want to do much on Bitcoin for now. But the moment we have price above, I'll definitely be looking into buying a lot.
Okay, so let me go to questions, either for trading, but you can also ask for Gwen for anything I presented on AI and blockchain or any other questions that you guys have. Maybe you can just keep this on screen if anybody wants to ask here. Any questions that people would like to ask, comments, thoughts, anything else? Please raise your hand or unmute and speak up if you want.
I'm good.
Yeah.
I've got a question for Gwen.
Go ahead, Eka.
When,
Question.
okay, thank you. You know, she was speaking about, before she went into the video part of describing the functionalities of.
Can you speak up a little?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. So while she was, before she got deep into the description of the functionalities of her AI, she mentioned a couple of LLMs and she ranked them in the level of their, how do I put it? Their no usefulness, the viability of their results, like the one that gives you better results. The English skips me right now, but she started with Gemini, and she mentioned Perplexity and about two others. Now, my question is, what's the what what modality do you use to rank Gemini as number one and Perplexity as number two? That's what I want to know. Thank you. Then this question is for Glenn.
For me?
Yep.
Yes, for you.
Okay. So if I understood your question properly, you were saying what between Gemini and Perplexity?
Yes,
The
yes. You mentioned
modality?
about four of them, but I was able to get down Gemini and Perplexity, and you said Gemini is better. So I was wondering what are the modalities that makes Gemini better than Perplexity?
Right. Okay. So with respect to threads, because both Gemini and Perplexity thread, well, all thread. But the thing is, the way Gemini thread its answers compared to Perplexity is I find that it has much less hallucination than Perplexity. Perplexity is really good. I use Perplexity, for example, um, to build deep searches. Perplexity is amazing for deep searches. So because you will ask a question, and then you might have another question with respect to that same thing, and then you go deep down, and that's deep search. And if you make a mistake, you can it doesn't give you the answer that you wanted because you didn't phrase your question properly. You can always delete uh, things out of it. And then once you're done with your deep search, you can grab the whole thing with one link, and then you can drop that into Claude or ChatGPT, and you can tell Claude or ChatGPT, do this, or you know, structure this knowledge, or develop whatever, Whereas Gemini is more like a mini version of Claude and ChatGPT combined together. So in the sense that when you're asking a question to Gemini, which is more like Google, right? So you ask a question that you want to Google, and then it gives you an answer in Gemini AI, and then you can continue. You can continue a deep search. The deep search knowledge that you're going to get out of Gemini is going to be more focused and oriented on application of the knowledge, whereas Perplexity will give you a deep dive into knowledge that is, like empirical, like it's built like building blocks, one on top of each other, and it makes sense. That's why I like to use Perplexity to do deep dive search and grab all this knowledge that I've accumulated and then drop that into Claude or ChatGPT in order to prompt something else, something much bigger out of it. Whereas I use Gemini for all kinds of different questions as well, and I do deep search as well, but the knowledge that I get is more applicable to, let's say, outline for a pitch, or outline for a book, or outline for some strategic go-to-market strategy. And so this is the difference between both Gemini and Perplexity. Now, if you want to compare Claude and ChatGPT, Claude has like break all the records recently. It's just amazing. It's just incredible. Just to tell you how incredible it is, you can do a deep search about a business project that you might have into Perplexity. You're going to ask all the pertaining questions with regards to that project, and you're going to grab that deep search, and you're going to drop that into Claude Code, for example, And you're going to say to Cloud Code, create this. And it's going to code it. It's going to code you like whatever, how big it is your project. And then what you do is you grab your codes because it's gonna go, and then it's gonna give you more codes that you and options that you're gonna develop. You click on whatever options that you want. You finesse your program, app, whatever you want to do. Then you grab all your codes in order. You have to grab them one prompt at a time, which is a bit tedious, but you have to do that. You take your codes and then you bring them into a GitHub. You go to GitHub and you open the file and you drop your codes in that file, in your project file, and then it will make the codes, it will line the codes like a prompt, like a compiler for programs, and it will be ready to just like compile and into a software. So you bring all your code into there. You make sure that it matches, because when Cloud Code gives you the next prompt code, it always grabs a little bit more from the previous one. So you have to match them so they sync into your edit file in your GitHub. And then once you finish grabbing all your codes from Cloud Code, you have a GitHub file that you can download. Then you download that file, and then you can bring it into another AI that will take all your code and will render your app, your software, whatever. And then you just drop all your code from Cloud Code into that other AI that you can choose. There are so many. You can use Cursor, you can use you can use Lovable if you want, but there are like many of them that you can use. And you just drop your code and you tell it, create this, and it will create your software from end to end. And you can actually go back to Claude and when you say create a front end for this software application, and then create a back end for for that software application. You grab your code all the time. You put them in separate files, your front end and then your back end. Then you go back to your whatever other AI that you're using, and then you integrate those files, and you tell your AI to wrap your software with that front end and that back end, and it will create it for you. And then that's it. Then you just you need to know how to integrate into all the other agents and different things that you want to do. You can, the sky's the limit. But nowadays, this is a game changer. You don't really need to know how to code anymore, but you do need to know some coding, like what was his name? Ankara was saying, you have to know some coding, but for the bulk part, you can do everything pretty much between Perplexity and Claude and other compiling AI that will make your life easy. I like for my part, I like Manbox. Manbox is amazing at creating software and app from codes that is generated from Claude, because Claude won't compile your software. It won't do that. It will give you the codes. So you need to have a compiler, editor, compiler, AI program to do that.
All right. So I'm kind of not sure if you had anything else on that. We'll give it another couple of questions before we close it up here for the day. For those of you who left an email address, I will send you the one-page content creation pipeline that I use. And then if anybody else wants it, go ahead, Graham. What were you going to say?
I just wanted to know if I answered this question, properly, or if he has other questions.
And please do make sure you guys are on the Telegram group as well. You can always ask questions there. Gwen is in there, I believe, as well, and you can ask any additional questions as we finish. We have discussion that is ongoing in the Telegram group. I'll leave a link here as well. I was going to note that for for the content pipeline you guys had asked about. So a couple of you left your email addresses. I'll plan to send that over to you and anybody else who did not. Anybody who I'll put on Patreon and any of the paid levels. So basically any levels a dollar above will have access to that content faceless creation pipeline on the Patreon page. So just go to the Patreon page and sign up and you'll be able to get it there. Okay. Any other questions for Gwen or Joseph, myself, or anyone else?
I have one.
Go ahead, Dan.
Um, Gwen, thank you. I mean, everything you said, I love. I'm very interested in the work you're doing. I went to your website, and there was a section on, I think development APIs or developers API or something like that. I was curious, so I clicked it, but on that page, APIs for developers. On that page, there was nothing like, it was just a page. There's nothing clickable there for me to go to. So I don't know if it's just I don't know, but
If you're
that's
interested,
one. The next thing that my second question is also I noticed that you don't the AI is not on like Apple Store or Android Store, and I'm curious if that is intentional and what
yes,
is behind that.
let me answer your question. First question, yes, if you're interested in getting our API, just get in contact with me. I'm not giving the API just like that. So yes, the API are available. So just get in contact with me and then we can talk.
Okay.
With respect to the mobile app, the personal assistant, the QNXs, if you go to at the top of the website, there's a button that says more. You can click on that and drop down menu will say download app. And then you can just click on the download button and it will, with your cell phone, if you do it on your website, it's not going to, on this desktop computer, is not going to work. But if you do it from your cell phone, you're going to be able to, there will be an install button that you just click. It's going to drop down. You have to open it in the browser, not just in Google search.
My question was why didn't you use I mean, a lot of people download apps from the app stores, and I guess probably in your case is intentional, and I wanted to understand. That's what I was curious about.
You can always, developers can always put their app on app stores or Google stores, whatever. But I mean, it's so much easier to just like click and it installs with your approval. You just click and then it installs directly on the cell phone and it's ready to go. And if you want to use Cerebra Nexus, because that's for the mobile personal app, Q Nexus. But if you want to access the big, heavy AI, which is Cerebra Nexus, and have collaborative space, and we also have the API for that. But that wouldn't be for an app. That would be for a software as a service. And then you just go to cerebranexus.ai or click on login to Cerebra Nexus on the Keyend page, and that you just log in. It will send you an email verification to your email. You verify your email, and then that's it. You're in. And it will give you access to Cerebra Nexus AI, like the front page. It's not going to give you access to the entire lab and workspace. That is for if you have a basic plan or a growth plan or a pro plan. There are like 3 plans, but we haven't launched yet. I'm getting ready to launch, and there is no gateway connected yet. It's the most difficult thing to do in Africa to find a payment gateway, let me tell you, is hell. I've been looking for a payment gateway for 3 weeks now, and I finally found one, and I hope to close that this week so that people can access the entire platform and the workspace and all that according to the different plans. I have a premium forever for the Cerebra Nexus, the heavyweight AI that will give you a certificate of provenance of where the information comes from, and it will give the truth factor and the confidence level of every answers that you would search for.
Thank you.
And so I wanted to say, yeah, if you want to get hold of me, you can get hold of me from, you can write at contact@kion.io, contact@kion.io. We're open for business. We can develop software, apps, whatever your project is. We can brainstorm with you. And if you have any questions, also just for fun, I'm available. You can talk to me on Telegram and write to, it will be a pleasure for me to answer you.
Awesome.
Hey, your question answered on that one?
Yes, it is. Can I still ask another one?
Sure.
Go ahead.
John doesn't.
Okay, so usually people would go on the App Store, Google Play Store, and download the app. Are you planning to have the Cerebral Nexus on the App Store? So that I can go there and download, because you also do know that, for example, Google and Apple and all those people are advised that don't download an app on your phone if it's not coming from there because of security verification and all those things. So so then people would be I would be concerned to download something out of that if I'm a mainstream if I think that way. That's why I wanted to know, is that intentional that you don't
Yes.
publish? Yeah.
I'll tell you what. App Store and Google stores are not quantum safe. And first of all, we don't put the API on any of these stores. You can download cerebralnexus.ai. There's a download. You can, if you go with your cell phone, you can download cerebralnexus.ai, and it will install beautifully. You'll have like the powerful AI on your phone. Or you could use QNexus, which won't give you the certificate of provenance, but it will give you the truth and confidence level of every answer. So what we offer is truth and trust as a service. So that you can trust our network. You can trust without any hallucination our AI. You know that you have a certificate for the information for the provenance, and the network is encrypted end to end on both sides, not just on our side. And so that's why I chose to rather have a download from our website, which is fully encrypted and safe, rather than put our apps on unsafe environments that can be contaminated, and then you get all kinds of other things added on as you download your app. That's what's going on right now. And so there's so many bots that on our platform, all agents and bots and everything, if they log on to the platform, they need to be identified by digital. We use a post-quantum safe encryption and give them a digital ID. So if they do anything mischievous, we know which one it is.
Any other questions before we round out for the day? Understand?
Thank you very much. I had yielded. Gwen, very interesting information that you presented, because I'm very much interested in having my AI to myself. And I know that most AI is open source, so I would like to have my stuff encrypted because of my global network that I'm building.
Well,
So,
I can develop it for you, and I can create the entire project and create your AI. You would own your AI and everything. We go on contract, and we deliver everything to you at the end, and you become your sole proprietary. You own the codes and you own the project.
awesome. Well, I'll definitely be in contact with you as I develop.
Yeah, or
Thank
we
you
can
so much.
partner with you, and I will know more in the upcoming weeks with our new partners. We might be also able to offer financing for development, for marketing.
Okay, sounds great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Cool.
Okay.
Any final questions for any of the presentations today? All right. I think with that, we've had a good 3 hours and nearly and a half run today. So thank you, Gwen. Thank you, Joseph. Thank you, everybody, for participating and joining. I hope you guys enjoyed the session. There'll be a recording, and I'll have all the communications. Do jump on Telegram if you're not on there as well. And everybody have a good one. Thanks.
Yeah. Bye. That was fun. You can invite me anytime.
All right. Sounds good. Glad to have you. All right. Thanks, everyone. Bye.